surgery on a tendon in his left pinky. College basketball tournaments in full swing as the Texas Longhorns took down the Aggies 94-89 in double overtime. Longhorns improved their selection resume and may very well have made it in. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody.
What's wrong, Rob? What's wrong with you? I'm trying to bring a little energy to the show. What's happening? Rob, come on. Good morning, Robert. Don't be a bad sport.
Hey, I'm being a bad sport because I'm jealous.
Oh,
But
man.
I'll freely admit it on a fine Friday that you are sitting comfortably surrounded by the hearth and friends and family.
Well, actually,
I had to
no. They're
wake
all
up
hiding
and
in other
trek
rooms.
in and sit next to Stinky Vic.
They're all hiding in other rooms. But I am, I will see them after.
Well, good morning, sir.
But don't be jealous, man.
I'm
The weather
remarkably
here
jealous.
is so miserable.
Who'd have thought?
What's happening?
Oh my
Is
gosh!
it raining or what?
Raining yesterday. It was. It's been disgusting. Windy, like 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. It's horrific.
I think those winds are blowing in here today. I saw the extreme fire danger risk signs are up all the way in.
Here.
So we're getting those breezes. But it was 94 here yesterday, man. It was hot.
Well, yeah, I would have taken a little bit of heat. We were in like the I want to say the 40s or 50s.
Dude, really?
Yeah. But again, this is tomorrow morning we're heading out to San Diego. I can't imagine that the weather in San Diego is going to be this bad. So I think we'll be okay.
San Diego, La Jolla, Seal Beach. It's heaven. You're headed to heaven.
Yeah.
I think so.
So just keep it to yourself there, hero. All right. We're gonna
I think I'll be all right on weather going forward.
The dust storms. You got to go sit and watch baseball and you had to wrap a blanket around you. Oh.
I mean, it was hard times.
Man, I don't know. You know why I'm surly?
That's
I
hard
had to
times.
sit through double overtime ass whooping again yesterday, and I haven't been right since. So forgive me if I'm still a little surly. When there's really only two things you got to do on a basketball court, and one of them's shoot.
Yeah.
And
anyway,
well, are you unhappy with shooting?
oh well, I'm unhappy with our shooting. However you want to define it in the broadest sense of the word, shooting. We throw the ball in the general direction of that orange circle and hope for the best is what the Aggies do, and didn't work out yesterday.
Well, the Beavos are desperately fighting.
I'm joking. It was a phenomenally hard fought win. Now there's not much left in the tank as they head toward Tennessee, but hey, a hell of a win yesterday and a hell of a day of basketball. It really was a good.
Well, and the way you can know that there was double overtime is the final score was 94-89. I'm surprised they didn't actually play two full games.
It felt like it. That game went. What was there? 50 fouls called. 50 fouls called. That game went 3 hours.
What a horrific game to watch.
Oh, it was a rock fight, man. It was brutal. We set the game back. I mean, it was a thrilling game. I'm not going to take away from the the experience, but anybody who was looking forward to any kind of exhibition of skill, only person that provided any skill was Trey. That was it.
Well, you aren't the worst. You aren't the most upset fan in college basketball as Did you see the end of the Louisville-Stanford game?
I was talking with Edwin about this yesterday. Yeah. Can
it get worse than that?
That's a heave. I mean, well done. I'm all about the upsets. If it's going to happen to you, it needs to happen then. The problem with how it happens so late, I'm not going to say I saw it live. I saw it this morning. I did not see the final shot live.
Yeah, as I was watching this game, Louisville and Stanford played. Louisville held on to win 75-73. But Louisville takes a shot. They take a shot at the buzzer to try, or not at the buzzer, with about 2 seconds left, 3 seconds left to try to win. They missed the shot. Stanford gets the rebound, and the player from Stanford passes it directly to another Louisville Cardinal who shoots the jumper and hits it at the buzzer to win.
Not since Carolina, Georgetown have we seen something like that.
And the Stanford kid is just laying on the ground like inconsolable.
I mean, you get it because they both wear red, and he saw red, and I get it, man. Oh, the game-winning assist. Well, no, one was wearing black, one was wearing white. I think they were doing it all night. In practice, no. What I'm saying is, in practice, Stanford wears red in practice, and you just get used to seeing that color. And he made that pass, and sadly, for the rest of his life, he's going to wake up in a cold shiver. Oh, I did that, didn't I? I did.
Yep.
Yeah, you did.
Poor kid.
And Stanford had a 13-point lead in that game at one point. They blew the whole thing, let them get all the way back in it, and then for that kid to have the game-winning assist to the other team is about as cruel of a fate. And that, I mean, that's for Stanford. That was their season. Like, that's the last game they're playing this season now. So just
well, the good news is he'll go on and make billions in some kind of tech field. So he'll be all right.
His life will probably be okay.
Yeah, this will be fine for him. But
oh, what a brutal, brutal way to go. There was some good basketball yesterday. There was some. There was. Don't get me wrong. There was some bad basketball too. But there was basketball. We'll talk about that.
There were compelling games. The quality might not have measured up in every game, but I didn't see a bad basketball game. I mean, I think there might have been only one beatdown. I think Oregon was about the only team I saw really just kind of beat on somebody. But other than that, it seemed like everything was pretty close.
St. John's put on a beatdown.
I didn't see much because every time I looked at the score, they were way up. So, yeah.
That was an early game. They beat Butler by 20-something. But I think you're right. Most of the high-profile games were actually pretty competitive. Mizzou ended up beating down Mississippi State. And Illinois just crushed Iowa.
Boy, score. That was the fastest
106 points.
Big Ten
106 points for Indiana, or for Illinois. That is an unusual. And by the way, that was with only 10 from Yakashonis. So boy, they had an exhibition. Just incredible showing offensively by Illinois. But we'll talk about all those games. We got plenty to discuss on that end. We've got some NBA we got to get into tonight, and the wheels in the NFL keep on rolling. We got some drama. We got some drama, baby.
Oh, come on. This is great. Now we're figuring out what the hell's been going on around there for the last couple of years.
Maybe we are getting a good look at that. I mean, that's entirely possible. There's a new running back in Dallas. We'll talk about that. There is a new backup quarterback in Kansas City. We'll talk about that. So just tons of stuff to get into today. I'm certainly excited. And you know what we're going to do, Rob? Right out of the gate.
Let's do it.
Right out of the gate, I'm giving away stuff. We've got Gunslingers tickets today, Rob.
Yeah.
We've got 2 more 4-packs, right, Vic?
Yeah, we got actually we got 4 more, but we'll give away 2
more to give away right now.
Yeah.
So let's
do it. Let's
tickets, go. Right.
Let's go with caller number 2 and caller number 5. The early bird gets the worm today. You know what? Caller 2 and caller 3. We're not going to make you sit through these things. There might be 3 people listening today. So if you want to go see the Gunslingers take on the Tulsa Oilers live and in person down at Fremont Coliseum on the 22nd, that's the home opener for those Gunslingers. This is the way to do it, friends. Caller 2, caller 3, you'll get a family 4-pack to go see that home opener at Freeman Coliseum. There you go. Look at me. Right out of the gate. I'm just a giving fella. Right out of the gate. The other thing, Rob, we may have to discuss a little bit. I don't know if we'll have enough time. It is a Friday. I don't want to bog us down too much. But I'm realizing, man, we're pretty close to baseball season now.
Yeah. But baseball season doesn't start till May the 1st. I don't care what we do.
Well, I mean, I'm fine with that too. But and then the other thing is, I don't know if you've read this about Tampa. I know you've got some Florida ties. You're semi-Florida man.
Yeah,
quite
I got
frankly.
mom ties down there. Some bodies down in the bayou.
The Tampa Bay Rays have stopped discussions about a new ballpark.
Yep.
Which basically means they're gone.
It's over. It's a done deal. And here's my fear. We got things to fry here in San Antonio. We got things to do. And every time Tampa's done this before, and other teams have, and somebody here in San Antonio dives in. Why not us? This is not the time. I don't want to even entertain the idea of a baseball team, even though it's there. We got to build something called Marvel. We got other things to fry. Let's not even dive into what I know will be coming.
Yeah, $1.3 billion is what the stadium was going to cost in Florida. Something tells me San Antonio is not going to their pocket for that, as well as the basketball arena.
Yeah, let's not even entertain it. And because we're going to be used as leverage, there's other cities that are much more further down the road, even though we're probably the best venue for them in Mexico and all the other kind of things that are available to them right now. Let's not even entertain it. They're going to end up in Nashville. Let's let them go. Let them land.
That's probably the right call. All right. We got plenty to discuss. We'll do all that and more. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like a new trouble spot on Loop 410 northbound 151 west side of town. This crash is taking up the right lane and median. 410 southbound Old Pearsall Road. That stall is off to the shoulder now, so main lanes are getting by. And it looks like they just picked up that road work on 35 northbound 1604 to Olympia Parkway. So you still might notice a little bit of a slow residual delay, but the good news is finally traffic flowing freely. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by True Green. We're back in the miller's yard, who now use True Green. Their lawn started looking like a fairway, and pro golfers started showing up. They love playing this lawn. Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
Wow! Most cars and trucks can get premium ceramic window film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint, starting at just $199. Don't wait. Protect your ride today. Our competitors charge hundreds more, but at Mother's, you get the best quality and value. Call now or visit motherswindowtint.com to schedule your installation. With up to 60 different film options, we've got the perfect fit for every car and budget. Stop by one of our locations and see the difference for yourself. Want to boost your vehicle's security? We've got you covered with advanced systems starting at just $399. Call 210-213-2118 today and ask about our alarm specials. Since 1984, we've been the home of the tint and alarm special. Don't wait. Visit Mother's Window Tint today. Call now or go online to book your service. Your car deserves it. Mother's Window Tint since 1984. Call or visit motherswindowtint.com. That's motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes. So it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
All power, zero compromise. Ego cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From blowers and trimmers to mowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Guys, if you ever spend time on social media, you'll often find yourself just being hit with bad news and worse comments, and you'll see how everybody's life is so picture perfect, and they've got this great job promotion, and you're wondering, man, where am I? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. That's what they're about at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you want to be more present and focused, you want to sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you've got to work on yourself. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut quality water softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com. and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-880-6363. That's 1-800-880-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-880-6363. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live at the Round Table Pizza location in Stone Oak, where you have the chance to not only get pizza for a year, but you buy one, you get one free.
We will go over all the Cowboys news of the week with our friend John Machota from The Athletic. He joins us at 5:15.
The Blitz live at Round Table Pizza, the Stone Oak location.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Good morning, everybody. AJ and Rob getting you through on a Friday. Happy Friday. We'll get the Friday song later.
Wait for it. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Wait for it.
Oh, yes.
The anticipation is just so sweet.
I can't wait. Everything feels better once that hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rob, you You were playing with my pussies this morning. My kitties.
You better smile when you say that.
Hey,
Kitty big balls.
how's my tribe down there? My litter.
AJ, if you were my son, I would have a talk with you.
They were hissing everywhere.
It's out of hand, man. It's out of hand. When I pull up and I see 6 glowing eyes staring at the parking lot, he's here. He's here.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's not him. He parked in the wrong spot. Well, I'll go check on him. Big Nuts comes running out like, hey, you got food? No, he doesn't have any food. Go back in the woods. He's like, no,
This ain't the one. This ain't him.
We'll wait for the next car. Everybody getting false alarm. Back in the woods.
Oh, are they all nice? Are they all nice and fed, boys? Are they taken care of? That's the important
By
thing.
the time I got here at
I fed them already.
Yeah, about a quarter till 5 or 4. They were already fed.
See, Vic understands. Vic is he's got the feels.
Yeah.
No, I'm not mad at him, but I'll tell you what, the thing about cats, and I guess any pet, I mean, it's one thing to feed a stray, you feel good about yourself. Now they expect it. Now you show up and they're like, hey, you know, where you been?
AJ and I knew that going in.
A little something here, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been here 15 minutes. I got trash cans to get into. Come on, we got stuff to do. Feed me.
Listen, I don't know how well cats understand weekends, but we're about to hit one.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to feed them on the weekends. So
yeah, poor kitties.
Oh, poor kids. I mean, they're going to have a hard time, but either they'll have given up by Monday, or they're just going to be famished by Monday.
I think that they have a tour around a place to go. They come here early. They're headed someplace else to eat later. They might not get it, but they have a plan.
Because we pretty much never see them in the daylight.
No.
I mean, I think they're like these are night cats.
Yeah, they're nocturnal.
Well, they're on a route, so they're headed back. This is the last stop of the night before the sun comes up, maybe.
I think so, and they probably go back to their homes where I'm sure they live over in like Alamo Heights or somewhere. It's a trick. They got to get back over to their fancy owners and
panhandle all night long.
Yeah. It's like the guys who are panhandling at the corner, and then you see them getting into their Mercedes and driving off. It's like, damn it, you got me.
They counting their bills. That's what these cats are. They're well-fed, wealthy cats.
They're actors.
They're pretty good. Let me tell you, they're pretty good actors. You'd think they were all starving.
Oh yes, yeah. Kitty Big Balls is like the Daniel Day-Lewis of cats. He's just like.
They were hissing a lot more this morning at each other, though. It was weird.
Yeah, well. He has.
They
those
understand.
Other cats.
Well, they knew that we were running out of food at the station.
Friday. I said it too. I was like, "This is the last ones."
Oh, and that's when it was like, "Oh man, we're fighting."
Yeah.
I've got some at the house. I've got some because my cat is very
bougie.
Yes, very particular about what she wants to eat. So there's some other brand, not Fancy Feast. It's called Friskies. That is there.
Oh yeah.
And there is some Fancy Feast, but it's not the grilled version. It's the pate that comes out in the big lump.
Oh yeah, nah.
Blueberry doesn't like that pate.
Yeah,
she likes the grilled salmon, the grilled tuna. So there's a bunch. When Rob goes to feed Blueberry today, there will be there's a big bag of food for the
package.
For the trash cats.
World MREs to Blueberry.
That's right.
Blueberry's like, they can have the pate.
No, take that. I don't eat that.
That's for the peasants.
That's right. I don't
have
get that out of my sight.
Take it away. Take it away. Take it away. Not for me. Thank you.
Blueberry's the kind of cat that tastes wine and then sends it back.
Yeah.
Just a terrible person.
Got an Okie afterbirth. I don't.
We've got. Rob, we are going to have to talk about this basketball match last night. I know it's going to pain you, and it's not a fun discussion, but we are going to talk about it. And the other thing we're going to have to talk about, Rob, is this might pain you even more, knowing what a fan you are. Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, that one. I've been telling everybody, when you work around basketball, especially with a younger group. There's always the first time someone rolls an ankle. The first time. Everybody thinks they've sprained an ankle. until you've truly gotten on the edge and gotten almost sprained or sprained an ankle, that's a pain unlike anything you've ever dealt with. I've broken bones that didn't feel like a rolled ankle. And the first time you do it, you believe you've been shot. I mean, your foot goes numb. You get sick to your stomach. You're in front of everybody. You're afraid you're going to crap your pants and vomit. I mean, I've never felt a pain like that. So whenever I'm around a kid that rolls their ankle, you run up and go, have you ever done this before? Have you ever hurt your ankle before? Because if you haven't, let's give it a second, because the pain will subside a lot quicker than you expect. And yesterday, I wasn't tuned into the game when it happened, but when it happened, Twitter, bang, bang, scroll, everybody, the whole world, Cooper Flagg down. So by the time I turned the channel, they had already flashed to him in a wheelchair. Roland's like, holy crap. Man. I mean, he slumped over like, oh my God, this dude, is his foot attached? And then 15 minutes later, he's walking, now limping, but he is walking back out to the bench with the full clearance of his medical staff, and he's cheering on his boys. This is kind of bad, but it ain't terrible. You know what I mean?
It ain't that bad.
This ain't gonna, if this was the NBA, he'd be playing a week from today. And if they win 2 games, don't be surprised to see him play again. Now, I do want to say one other part of this. This might tip our hand as to what his long-term plans are, because there has been the rumor that, dude, if it's the Wizards, I ain't coming out. I can make $10 million and staying at Duke if I want to. If he plays, that might tell us, dude, I'm staying. I'm just going to stay for another one, especially if they lose because he's hurt. There might be portents much deeper than just this tournament as far as what happened to Cooper Flagg.
Well, it's funny because there has been an adjustment. Duke going into yesterday was the favorite to win the NCAA tournament, and they didn't drop off dramatically, but Auburn has now passed them as the favorite,
as they should.
So it just food for thought. And also, this is maybe even more telling. And I think you should expect that Cooper Flagg will not be playing tonight against North Carolina.
I guarantee you that. Yeah.
Because if you remember when Duke played North Carolina in the last game of the regular season, Duke was a 9.5, 10-point favorite, and that was at Chapel Hill. That was at North Carolina. They are a 7.5-point favorite today, and it's trending towards being a 7-point favorite today on a neutral. So that pretty much lets you know
they're not a one-man team. They're not. That Maluch guy is probably going to be a top 10 pick, and the other kid, the cap, I forget his name, the shooter who had a heck of a game, Knoffel, is also a lottery pick. Proctor's been there for a long time, who stepped in and played really well. They're not a one-man team. They're just now, they went from probably number 2 overall to number 4 or 5 overall, if you're really doing the math.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just interesting to see what the market thinks he's worth. And this tells me they think he's worth probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 points to the line, which is a lot. But yeah, Cooper Flagg, John Shire was saying, we're not sure he'll be back at all in this conference tournament.
Oh, I would not.
They said that's not our priority. We got to get him ready for an NCAA tournament run. They're not acting like it's some sort of disastrous thing, and I don't think it is. I don't think it's a high ankle sprain.
It's not. He wouldn't have been on his feet if after the first look the docs saw it. It was a roll, and it scared the fool out of everybody for 10,000 miles in every direction. But I think he'll wake up today sore. Tomorrow he'll have a little bit of color. They're going to do 24-hour work. He'll do the ice and all the stuff. And if he was a pro, he'd be ready to play a week from today. If they win 2 games next week, we'll see him. Unless, it's just that financial decision. Like, I'm going to come out no matter what.
Right. All right. Let's hit a break. We'll be back. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like a new trouble spot on Loop 410 northbound 151 west side of town. This crash is taking up the right lane and median. 410 southbound Old Pearsall Road. That stall is off to the shoulder now, so main lanes are getting by. And it looks like they just picked up that road work on 35 northbound 1604 to Olympia Parkway. So you still might notice a little bit of a slow residual delay, but the good news is finally traffic flowing freely. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I didn't want to call Bobo and have to have a confrontation.
Just make a change?
Yeah, because you're so bitchy.
We do it all the time.
You're so bitchy, Bobo.
You always want to
Do you realize how bitchy you are? And I don't want to fight with you.
You know, you calling me bitchy would be like me calling you a fat bastard. You know, that's projection, dude.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Hair Volume is one of the best-selling hair tablets in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS. That's new, NORDIC, or CVS.
Join the Blitz today live from the Round Table Pizza in Stone Oak. It's Friday. What do you got to lose? Pizza, sports talk, and cold brews. See you at Round Table Pizza today in Stone Oak.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place,
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-880-6363. That's 1-800-880-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-880-6363. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ORDER to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ORDER to 42424. That's ORDER to 42424.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Let's go! Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Oh, man. If this doesn't put you in the mood, I don't know what
Look
will.
at Rob. He wants to, man.
No, this makes
No,
Rob
I'm not.
feel good, too. He's faking. Rob's got to play the tough guy.
Yeah, I'm the tough guy.
Rob knows,
Doesn't take
though.
much in this crowd.
This is a vibe, baby. This is a vibe. Oh, looking forward to the
I
weekend.
defy you to play this, and I'm not sure which I would like to see more to wake. I want you to find something loud, like a jam box of something, and play this and go wake Holden up with it. Just open the door and just blast this at 11. See how Holden reacts to this.
No, Holden's a rocker through and through. He'd be like,
Yeah, he'd roll over and throw something at
loser,
you.
Dad. Loser. Oh well, you can't make everyone happy though, Rob. That's the thing about this world is you can only please a handful at a time. There's too many tastes.
As long as it's you that's involved, as long as you're
Right.
the one that's happy, that's really all.
As long as I'm happy, who cares about everyone else?
And I speak to that for everybody, quite frankly.
You got to work on yourself.
Yeah, man.
Prioritize your own joy. That's the way to do it. And then you have to assume that everybody else is just going to be miserable.
Yeah, and if you can play a role in causing that miserableness, more power.
That's the
to
way
you.
to live.
Yeah.
Now you know the rest of the story. Everyone understands the assignment now.
There's an old boy that used to sit in this chair. Well, used to sit in this building named Ari Timken, and he used to open his show every day with "Happiness is a choice," and I believe that through and through.
It is, and sometimes I take away that choice by playing the song.
I can choose to like it or not.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, Rob. You can't. And happiness was a choice for you yesterday, watching the Longhorn Aggie game.
Yeah, man. You know, A&M isn't playing well, and the fact of the matter is, Texas showed up and played like this is it. Their backs were against the wall. They didn't play great, but they played as hard as they have played all year long. And to me, that was enough. And I'm not mad at A&M. They got their issues, and they played the same kind of game they have played all season long. And they just can't shoot. And some days, more days than not, enough rebounds have won games. Last night, they couldn't pull down enough rebounds because they couldn't make any shots.
Well, Texas A&M is safely in the tournament anyway.
Yeah.
They're going to be fine. Texas needed that win desperately. They got some help yesterday because
you know what, AJ, I want to stop this because I don't want to defend that A&M didn't want this game. They did.
No, I think they did.
Played hard. This was a game they wanted after losing to them earlier in the season. This was a blood and guts battle. This wasn't A&M going, if we don't win, we'll end up a 5 seed. No, they came in it wanting to win and wanting to win the tournament. That's kind of the Buzz mentality, and they got beat.
Yeah, we talked about that. Like there was no way that even though they had a spot locked up, that they were going to. If there would have been some other team, maybe you could have questioned the effort. But you knew Texas A&M was going to give their best against that team, and just wasn't enough. And I mean, it was a competitive game, but just again, at the end of the day, there was a little more for Texas there. But the good news for Texas is the teams that are fighting with them for that last spot are doing them favors too,
right?
Because Indiana losing yesterday and quite frankly getting their ass kicked yesterday, that's good news for Texas. Ohio State losing is good news for Texas. The Xavier losing yesterday in a game, oh my God, they were in full control of, and they lost by 2 points on a late run by Marquette. That's good for Texas.
They're in, man. I think they're
North
in.
Carolina plays Duke today. That's good for Texas. Texas right now, Joe Lunardi has them as the last team in.
I think they're more than that. I think that other things are happening that are going to help them. I think they would have been the last team in if Indiana had played better. I think that they played a tough game against a well-regarded team, and I don't see how you keep them out because the Tennessee game isn't going to go well. They're not going to win the game against Tennessee because they're going to walk into that thing exhausted. I mean, just double overtime, and then you go up against probably the most physical team in the SEC. I just don't expect a lot from them. But I do think that there was a lot given in that game. They're in. They're probably a pretty low seed, but they're in the tourney. I don't know how you turn them down.
Yeah, I don't expect to. Well, I mean, there are a lot of other SEC teams, certainly. And if you remember, Texas had Tennessee on the ropes.
Yeah, no, if they quit themselves even half-ass well, I think that they're even more in. But I think yesterday's performance probably was enough because Trey is a baller. That guy is worth the price of admission. He was the best basketball player on the court yesterday for both teams. I fall back on that, and I think the committee does too. All things being equal, who has the star?
Well, Texas certainly has a star, but again, their resume is iffy.
Oh, they're a last one in kind of thing, but I think they're pretty safe. Especially if Duke goes out today and handles North Carolina with one arm tied behind their back.
I think you're right because those two teams are both fighting for the same spot.
Right.
I really believe that. And kudos to North Carolina. They understood the task and they've handled it. They have beat up on it like in the last, I don't know, go back to mid-February. The only teams they've lost to are Clemson and Duke since February 1st.
The day we called them out, I think.
Yeah, they are 9-3 since February 1st. The 3 losses are to Duke and Clemson, but the 9 wins are over non-tournament caliber teams. If they lose to Duke, then we got to go, man, what are they doing? They're beating up on anybody who is no good. Like they've got they just don't have the quality wins. They've got 1 win all season long over a tournament caliber team. That was back pre-Christmas, a neutral site win by 2 points against UCLA. I don't think that's going to be good enough to get them through. So a win tonight for North Carolina probably scares the hell out of Texas, especially if they don't play their game against Tennessee. But yeah, it's worth keeping an eye on both those teams today because they're down. They're playing musical chairs. The music's about to stop, and they're about to bump asses, is what it looks like.
Completely. Yesterday, watching all the games, I picked up a few things. I have a new kind of Sancha team. Clemson and number 4. Remember the kid from North Carolina State last year? The big center that came out of nowhere.
DJ Burns.
Ian Shefflin for Clemson. He is my underdog new favorite dude to watch. Nothing better than a fat white kid playing ball, man. Just a glorious thing to watch.
Yeah, and Clemson's an old team. 4 seniors starting for them. The fifth guy's a junior. And they are about as unathletic as you could imagine. I don't know how they're as good as they are, but they're a good team, man. They really are. And I keep expecting the hat to drop on them and they just turn into a pumpkin, but they haven't done it. And they've lost 1 game since January 8th. They've lost 1 game. Like they're playing as well as anybody. They only lost 2 games all season long in conference to in the ACC, and they only played Duke once, but they beat them. Like this is a team they got something. We'll see what the ceiling is because again their athleticism is subpar, but they're in the tournament, so we'll see what they do. And that game today between them and Louisville, the thought was who can line up to play against Duke. That was the big plan, was which one of these guys was going to get a crack at Duke. Who knows if Duke's around tomorrow, but either way, that Louisville Clemson game tonight is going to be a good one, man. The two other teams in the ACC this year, both of them fighting for it. And when they played earlier this season, they played at Louisville. Louisville got a win. I'm guessing Clemson looking to avenge it.
I'll tell you. So yesterday is the taste of what we've got now with these super conferences. Yesterday felt like the first day of the tourney. It really did. From
now we're getting into
until midnight. It was at 7:00 last night. We got, it was probably 8:00. We got Kansas, Arizona in the second round of the Big 12 tourney. That's a Final Four game. Any other part of any century. Not a great game per se, but just the matchups. Every time you turn the channel, it just feels like a tourney game. We have improved this game tremendously by adding these super conferences. Yesterday was phenomenal.
And I guess you didn't stay up last night and watch the Cal Poly UC Riverside game.
No, the last I saw was I was watching a bunch of them. I was really concerned about Purdue and USC. I watched way too much of that game.
Oh, okay.
Purdue should have put them to bed.
Yeah, you're right. That was a much closer game than it should have been. All right, let's we'll talk about the other games going on. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is heading to Vegas, and you're coming with us. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas for Mega March, March 27th through the 30th. Catch baseball's opening day and all of the hoops action at the world's largest sports book. Then take the party to Stadium Swim with 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. Book now at CircaLasVegas.com with promo code BLITZ and join us at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, sun, spirits, and a sure bet for an unforgettable time.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Progressive Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance might be the easiest part of owning a home. Definitely easier than this.
Psst, honey, hush. There's a salesman walking up the driveway.
Oh no, he's got a clipboard.
What do we do?
Get down.
Down?
On the floor, you...
Shoot, did he see us?
Why are you breathing so loud?
Home ownership isn't easy, but with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, shopping for home insurance is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-880-6363. That's 1-800-880-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-880-6363. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet. And we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place.
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business.
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to.
They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
With basketball season in full swing, make watching the game a little bit more exciting with your chance to win money with Underdog, one of the leading sports apps, and you can play in Texas. You could win up to 1,000 times your money with Underdog, playing the pick'em game where you pick higher or lower on predicted stats. You can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right on your pick'em entry, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Yep, turn $1 into 1,000 with your hoops knowledge. Download the Underdog app and sign up using my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Seems like Rob's jam right here, doesn't it, Vic?
This is before Ann and Nancy discovered carbohydrates.
Yes. Oh, yes.
They were smoking hot in that spandex and big hair.
Yeah.
Woo!
Every
See the way
those were the
she pushed
times.
that C chord. Oh,
Those were the
spit with her
times.
fingers, if you know what I mean.
One of the upsets yesterday. How about that? BYU getting a win over Iowa State.
Yeah. Here's the takeaway from this. First of all, BYU is really good. You don't want to play them.
They are. You're right.
Iowa State is still hurt. They're still minus 3 dudes yesterday. So
Then maybe it's for the best.
yeah, I think that don't discount Iowa State in the long run. Last night was a shootout, man. That's a lot of offense yesterday. Minus 3 dudes that Iowa State has. In fact, I'm even more in on Iowa State after the loss than I was before.
Yeah, probably a good thing that they're going to be out for a bit and have a chance to recover. Lipsy missed the game yesterday, and Keyshawn Gilbert missed the game yesterday. 2 of their key starters, so they need a little bit of rest. And the last thing that you want is, I'm guessing they took a look at that bracket and said, "Hey guys, if we win this game today, we play Houston tomorrow. You guys want to do that?" I don't want to do that. And they decided, yeah, maybe it's the best move is to just
but
I don't want to say punt.
Your pick for Tech to win this thing?
Yeah.
They're looking pretty good right now. That wasn't easy, but it was effective. Baylor brought, like I talked about, man.
Baylor fought like hell, man. They did.
They brought the toolbox, and they were hitting people with hammers yesterday, but Tech fought through it. It was a valiant, good win because I don't think Baylor got the credit for how hard they were going to play, and they did.
Yeah, they fought like hell. We've got 2 great games today because one great game, I guess. Texas Tech and Arizona is going to be a damn good game. On the other side, Houston and BYU. I just think BYU is. There are teams that can give Houston trouble.
Not this.
BYU is not one. The way that BYU is built.
The thing that BYU has going for them is the pressure probably won't affect them that much. They're used to a little bit smaller possession game. Yesterday was not their normal game. They could execute with anybody. As long as they hold on to the ball, I think they've got a fighting chance. But I just don't think they're going to be able to hold on to the ball. I think they're going to turn the ball over the way Houston applies pressure constantly. And they'll end up losing it. And they're not going to score 90 points again. Last night was kind of a unique shoot 'em out kind of how many threes were made. I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
BYU played Houston back in early January. The final score, Houston 86, BYU 55.
See, that's about what I expect. I don't think they're going to get the buckets that they're capable of getting against them.
It's just too much for that team. Too much physicality, I think, for that BYU team to handle. So Like I said, I think there's one good game tonight, and then if Houston takes care of business the way I expect they will, the winner of that Arizona Texas Tech game against Houston tomorrow is going to be a real fun game. All right, hour number 1 in the books. Plenty more to come. We'll talk some NFL coming up next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from The Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hour.
Join the Blitz today live from the Round Table Pizza in Stone Oak. It's Friday. What do you got to lose? Pizza, sports talk, and cold brews. See you at Round Table Pizza today in Stone Oak.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint. Let's trade
lives.
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like a new trouble spot on Loop 410 northbound 151 west side of town. This crash is taking up the right lane and median. 410 southbound Old Pearsall Road. That stall is off to the shoulder now, so main lanes are getting by. And it looks like they just picked up that road work on 35 northbound 1604 to Olympia Parkway. So you still might notice a little bit of a slow residual delay, but the good news is finally traffic flowing freely. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs season continues, though drudgingly slow, as more bad news arrived. De'Aaron Fox, his season is over. He'll undergo surgery on a tendon in his left pinky. College basketball tournaments in full swing as the Texas Longhorns took down the Aggies 94-89 in double overtime. Longhorns improved their selection resume and may very well have made it in. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What's so funny?
I'm watching Chucky Hepburn get the assist and the shot to put down Stanford.
Oh, gosh.
and
I mean, can you imagine how that dude's feeling today?
Dude. Yeah, you got to go back to class. You're going to have to explain to your cohorts.
That's a tough one, man. That is a tough one. But you know what? Hey, at least you go to Stanford.
Yeah,
you know,
at least we'll call you boss. And that IPO comes through, you're going to be just fine. But
you'll make it.
Yeah, join the
rest.
It's
a tough day today, though.
Yep.
Tough day today. A lot more to talk about. We're going to talk some NFL here in just a couple seconds. But I did want to. I will also want to get into the De'Aaron Fox thing, which comes as no surprise. I think you and I have kind of expected this to happen here for a little bit. And it looks like the Spurs have finally said enough is enough, wasting our time with this thing. And now the Spurs roster is
well, the good news is
now things are really bad.
I'm going to be very interested. Is Steph going to start now? Are we going to have Castle by default, or is he still going to come off the bench? I'm curious to see how they manage this.
What do you think the other option would be?
I don't know. It seems to me that the option would have been Steph starting a couple weeks ago, but there's obviously a plan in place here. I wonder if that will include Steph getting minutes at the point.
I would assume it. Well, I assume he starts, but at a minimum, I assume his minutes count goes up, which may be a good, maybe a bad thing. I don't know, depending on as we've talked about the season kind of wearing on you. You hit that rookie wall. Is adding more minutes at this point a good thing? Yeah. I don't know. I'll be honest. It wouldn't make me sad if Steph Castle suddenly had a sore back and he had to miss the rest of the season too.
I wouldn't put it past him. You know what I mean? But I think just like they let De'Aaron go out with a bang, hey, go get 30. We know your season's over. I think they're going to let Steph play until he has had a great game and seal up this Rookie of the Year. Get that Roddy down and carry on for next season. But until then, I think that's the only goal this team has is get Steph the Rookie of the Year.
Well, we'll talk some De'Aaron Fox here in a little bit. First, though, I want to talk about the Cowboys and the drama that came from yesterday. Is DeMarcus Lawrence now a Seattle Seahawk? DeMarcus he had I guess, I don't know, like he was talking to one of their video bloggers or whatever they are, and just kind of an introduction video. And they asked him about his time in Dallas and how tough it was for him to leave. Vic, can you play that for me?
Definitely love the atmosphere. Change the scenery is always good. But Dallas is my home. I made my home there. My family lives there. I'm forever going to be there. But I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. So yeah, we here.
Why do you choose violence, D-Law? Why you want to come out swinging like that, man?
Oh,
telling family
man.
secrets. That's family business. You don't air that in public.
I know.
Well, listen. The thought is
truth hurts, man.
Oh,
that's what I was going to say.
He led with that. He didn't lead with anything other than like, well, I ain't gonna win no Super Bowl.
And again, it's like, where's the lie? I don't know. I mean, it's maybe he's a little more he's a little more in tune with reality than some of the other people.
He blame the heat. He can say, it really is hot over the summer. I'm not gonna miss that. He didn't have to go straight to the crux to the problem. He could have chosen something kind of on the periphery, like the traffic.
It went a little further because Micah Parsons found that clip on the interwebs, and he quote tweeted it and said, "This what rejection and envy look like. This some clown bleep.
I'm down, Micah.
Clown excrement," and then with a clown emoji. And first of all, I mean that's Micah, stepping up, standing up for his team. But then DeMarcus says, "Calling me a clown won't change the fact that I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left."
There. The window was opened. We just saw the light in the corner of the basement that nobody's supposed to see right there.
That's it. Something tells me that when his time runs out in Seattle, DeMarcus Lawrence will not be coming back to Dallas.
Yeah, he'll get ring honor consideration, and
he won't.
No,
that's called burning a bridge.
No, he'll
what
never
he just
get
did.
in there. But I think he speaketh the truth, and I think he's speaking the truth to Micah. Like, look, dude, yeah, you're the problem too.
I mean, first of all, let's start with the kind of the sneaky underbelly truth. DeMarcus Lawrence signed in Seattle. You ain't winning a Super Bowl there either, but
I think we all know that. But this was not about Seattle. This was all about the power play between Micah and D-Law, who was the leader of that defense till Micah was drafted. And despite outcome, despite coaches, obviously, DeMarcus did not appreciate the way Micah handles his business. The tweeting, the podcasting. Obviously, D-Law did not like it. And that's just a little bit of the feeling there. He didn't tell it all, but that's enough for me that behind the scenes people were tired of Micah's talk.
You know what? I think there probably are guys who are still in Dallas who are feeling that same way.
Now, that being said, I love what Micah did. That being said, Micah is that. It was described as that. The emperor has no clothes. Micah, you're tweeting too much. At least you came to the defense. At least you jumped back in and said, envy and all that. So I'll credit Micah for defending his turf. It is his team solely now on defense. And he came to their rescue, or at least to their defense. So I appreciate what DeMarcus said because I believe it. But also, Micah, if you're the leader of this team, you got to do what he did too.
When do you think DeMarcus started to either realize that or feel that?
I think, a couple years ago, there was a lot of talk about after Micah's rookie year, like, dude, you're playing your first 10 games, you're on fire, and you're coasting to the finish. By week 16, 17, you're out of gas for whatever reason. Maybe you need to get in shape. Maybe you need to work. And then that next year, he spent the summer in Austin and was doing sumo work and doing all the, like, dude, remember when you even said, man, I got to work on my conditioning. I got to be better at the end of the season. And I think DeMarcus Lawrence, who had worked his way up and then got a big payday, and then Micah shows up, and then everybody starts questioning DeMarcus Lawrence's output because where are all those sacks? We're paying you all this money. And the Cowboys had to go, well, his job isn't to sack. His job is to block and to clog up and get pressures and, internal stuff. And Micah's supposed to get all that. and we got mad at DeMarcus, and he was just kind of doing his job. I feel like he felt like Micah wasn't living up to what he was asked to do, and it might have been going on for a couple years now.
Yeah, it's a weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing that this is. I mean, I guess it's not weird that it's being said now, because now's the time that you can say it. But it does make me wonder when the first thought hit his mind of like, dude, this is the wrong place for me. This isn't going to end the way I want it to end.
Go in no Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Wow. And
I you never know when they started thinking that, but it's funny that he's instantly coming out and saying it. And it is I love the drama. I love the drama once a guy leaves and it's just like, dude, this place ain't it. And
this was just, he still hasn't really decompressed. You know what I mean? He's still a Cowboy who's got a new Seattle Seahawk jersey. Wait till he becomes a Seahawk. You know what I mean? And he starts to really talk freely about his time in Dallas. Because even now, even though they ain't going to win no Super Bowl, he's still got a bunch of secrets. He's still protecting the star. Wait till he becomes a fully immersed Seahawk and we really get an interview. I figure about October, November next year. When we go, let's talk about Dallas.
Yeah, let's talk about it now. Elsewhere in Cowboys news, Cowboys appear to be one of the teams in on a potential Cooper Kupp signing. Diana Rossini and Adam Schefter both reporting the Cowboys as candidates for Cooper Kupp services. That is, I mean, it's certainly a need for the Cowboys. It certainly helps out CeeDee Lamb. If you get, I'm assuming the Cowboys would have to get some sort of a deal, though. This is a.
It's an interesting opportunity.
I don't know what Cooper Kupp's going to cost, but I'm curious to see if the Cowboys can make it work.
I think you kick the tires. This is an interesting opportunity because, you know, we talk about how Cooper Kupp so much was benefited and also benefited Stafford, how they really found each other. And, you know, that connection catapulted both of them. And if Kupp can find that kind of connection with Dak, you know, filling the seams, getting the gaps in the zones and being that safety net that Jason Witten was in the early part of his career, man, it's worth a kick. You know, his health is always going to be a question, and you're going to have to pay through the nose to get him. But if you believe there's something there that those two can get together, you got to foster the growth of the most expensive football player on the planet. You might as well do what you can to help him.
Yeah, and getting a second wide receiver would be, I think ideal. And the Cowboys haven't had that in a little while. The Cowboys have not had a threat at number 2. And I don't know what kind of a threat Cooper Kupp is today versus what he was 3 or 4 years ago. He's certainly not that. But I do think that this is the best thing that would be the best thing they've had in a while. It'd make things a lot easier on Dak.
Help. Just don't overpay too much for this. You know, let's not overpay for what was with Cooper. We know the possibilities, and if healthy, yeah, but you still have other things to do. You know, there's still other money to be spent, and don't overspend on this.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's hit a break. We're going to talk more Cowboys today. We'll talk more NFL all around. We'll also we'll get into that Spurs conversation a little bit more. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Oh, I got to tell you about Karbach Brewing. Thank you, Vic, for reminding me. And I can't. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to getting back to Texas for, because I do have some good old Karbach in my fridge waiting on me. They don't have it here for whatever reason. They did make San Antonio a real priority for their beer. When they first left Houston, they first got outside of the Houston market. They said San Antonio is our number 1 priority market, and they are all over that town. And I'm so happy for it. Not only are they there in packaging and obviously in the liquor stores and in HEBs, but they're in all kinds of bars and restaurants as well. And again, it's something for everybody's taste. If you're an IPA man, they've got Hopadillo. They've got a perfect little seasonal IPA right now called Hoplectic that you can find. It's just delicious. If you're not an IPA guy, no problem. Crawford Bock, Ziegenbach, both fantastic. The new Crawford Pale Ale coming out is going to be pretty tasty as well, I bet. And, of course, their bestseller, the Love Street, the Cole Style Blonde that's available all over the city. So, guys, if you're looking to elevate your beer game, next time you're out, you're watching these games out at the bar, go ahead and ask your bartender, please make it a Carbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. And it's all about having a great time. Grab your buddies and ladies too and hit the course for a fun, laid-back day of golf, laughs, and a little friendly competition at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, April 14th. It's just $120 a player or $400 for a foursome. A solid deal for a day of good times with your crew. The Spring Golf Classic benefits the Pan American Golf Association. But don't worry, this isn't some high-stakes tournament. It's all about kicking back, having fun, and making memories. Presented by Flight by England and sponsored by Ancira.com and PPL Motorhomes. After you've crushed it on the course, join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Cold drinks, great food, and good times with all of your buddies. So grab your spot, grab your crew, and tee off for a day of unforgettable fun. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sportsbook, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com. And join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Try Round Table Pizza's new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza. And don't forget to pair it with our irresistible shareables, mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers, or golden potato wedges. The perfect bite to complement your meal. Find the nearest location or order delivery at roundtablepizza.com.
Wow! Most cars and trucks can get premium ceramic window film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint, starting at just $199. Don't wait. Protect your ride today. Our competitors charge hundreds more, but at Mother's, you get the best quality and value. Call now or visit motherswindowtint.com to schedule your installation. With up to 60 different film options, we've got the perfect fit for every car and budget. Stop by one of our locations and see the difference for yourself. Want to boost your vehicle's security? We've got you covered with advanced systems starting at just $399. Call 210-213-2118 today and ask about our alarm specials. Since 1984, we've been the home of the tint and alarm special. Don't wait. Visit Mother's Window Tint today. Call now or go online to book your service. Your car deserves it. Mother's Window Tint. Since 1984. Call or visit motherswindowtint.com. That's motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
I worked hard this morning, Minix. We have a doggy door. Well, the flaps were like malfunctioning.
Bad to have malfunctioning flaps.
Yes, the dogs would go outside and the flap would stay up. Maggie ordered some, and I installed those bad boys today. And I must say, pretty damn good. 4 screws on each side.
Four screws for malfunctioning flaps.
It was harder than you think.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime.
Snoop Dogg. Morning Huddle 94.1. AJ Hoffman, Rob Thompson, Slick Vic Brown. Not on camera, but he is there. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning.
How's your sugar today?
Actually pretty good.
You guys just eating crackers there? Or you guys have any good stuff that you're holding out on me on?
No, there's no tacos, no omelets or.
What'd you eat, Rob?
I brought a 2 cake donuts in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's protein balls. Did you have any protein balls?
I didn't have the protein balls this week. My wife slacked before she left.
Oh, that's right. She's not here.
I'm eating HEB donuts.
Rob has no co-host, no wife. I mean,
I'm a free range chicken for the next 4 days.
Your kid's gone too, isn't he? Is your kid?
Oh, that's right.
Well, he hadn't moved out yet. He's leaving on Sunday. But
oh my gosh.
But What
I'm about your dogs?
Well, I'll have the dogs. I'm
have you
full on empty.
Did you kick the tires on a?
I have. I think
dog college.
The boys are about the dogs. We have male and female, although the pronouns are vague now that they've been snipped. Are going to go off to college. They're going to go.
When
to
is that going to happen?
In the near future. They're going to go off.
Have
to
you guys
school.
decided whether to do the immersive plan?
I think we're going to go immersive. There's I don't want to bring up the company yet because we might get some endorsements out of this thing. They might be going off to college.
That's good for them, man. It's the best thing that can happen.
It'd be the best thing happen to me. I can tell you that.
It'll turn good dogs into great dogs, man.
I hope so. Because for those unaware, my son is moving, got a gig. He's leaving town, going to Austin. And he's leaving his dog with me, this 120-pound boxer Labrador beast that's lived in my home for a minute, but he's never really moved in because we knew he was leaving, but my son won't be able to take his dog. So we're going to adopt him. He's going to be part of the fam. And I've got another dog that thinks it's her house, and we're going to have to get them to live together in harmony and peace.
Yeah. Well, you weren't going to figure that out on your own.
No,
so good that you're.
And the thing is, they don't dislike each other. They just want to wrestle, and that's about some total of about 180 pounds of dog wrestling through the house.
It's just too much. You got to get them calm down. This is a good plan for you, Rob.
Yes,
I'm happy that you've made this choice.
And I'll tell you honestly, I have never had poorly trained animals. I'm pretty good with my dogs. But this one, I've gotten older. It's kind of like your last kid that you just kind of throw Cheerios out on the floor and they raise themselves. This dog has kind of been free range. I've been too good with it. And I'm paying the price now. You know what I mean? I've let the dog kind of live its own life without the training that I've given every other dog I've ever had. And now it's going to be kind of rough. It's like going to be going like the basic training. She's going to look at me like, what are you doing to me? Why am I going to
How could you do this to me?
I used to get food off the table and lay on the bed. Now that's all stopped.
Yeah, that's the good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Rob, the Steph Curry experience took another step last night. He hit his 4,000th three-pointer. 4,000 three-pointers in his career. No one else has even, the next closest guy is 873 behind him right now. And obviously he is still an active player. Obviously the fact that, Reggie Miller used to have this record at 2560, and that felt like just an incredible number. And then now that Reggie Miller is 6th on the all-time list, 4 of the top 5 that are ahead of Reggie Miller are active NBA players. LeBron James will also pass Reggie Miller by the time this season ends. So there will be 6 of the 7 top guys will be active NBA players, with Ray Allen being the one exception. And it brings me to the question, Rob, is Steph Curry, when he's done, because Steph Curry's had a long career, in my mind, if you had told me when Reggie Miller hit 25-60, that would be that someone hitting 4,000 would be an unbreakable record. No one would ever be able to break that. My question to you is, with the way the NBA has changed and the way that players now, are so much more willing three-point shooters, is it a lock that Steph Curry is going to go down as the all-time, maybe, I think he will be the all-time best three-point shooter, because when you look at the percentage that he hits at, like, he's a 42-point-something% shooter, which is like, that's elite in its own, but also the volume, it makes the whole thing just absurd. But is someone going to surpass his total three-pointers made at some point in our lives?
Yeah, in our lives, I think somebody. There's nobody. Well, I mean, Trey might have a chance. Some of the younger guys that have another 15 years of playing, but I don't think we're truly going to appreciate what Steph has done and is still doing until after he's gone. He's just. It's funny that as we say goodbye to LeBron and the LeBron era ends, that we're already looking for the next guy, and Steph's still playing. We're already looking for the next face, and Steph is. I mean, he's still here. It's because he looks like us. He's not the giant. He doesn't jump and the top of the box. He doesn't. You know what I mean? He's just a regular looking cat, and I don't think I think we idolize it because everybody can. It's aim for that. You don't have to be able to touch the top of the box. You don't have to be 7'3". You just got to practice and learn how to do something nobody's ever done before. But you can. There is access to regular-looking dudes. And I think because he's not the giant carved out of granite, because he's not 7'2", we don't look at him like he's a god. We look at him like he's another dude that worked real hard, when he is, in fact, a god. What he's doing, no one can do. No one's ever done this before. But he just doesn't look like it. So I don't think he gets the just desserts. 40,000? Are you kidding me? I mean, let's just put that in perspective. We should be astounded by this number, but that's just Steph, and he just does that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm curious. I'm curious to see when Steph walks away where we place him, because Shaq said something the other day that there's not enough talk about Steph as one of the all-time great players in this league. Because
Shaq looks like he was descended on high, created by the gods to play in the NBA. Jordan was touched by God. LeBron was carved from from adamantium or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then there's Steph, who just can touch the bottom of the net every time he shoots it. He doesn't jump high. He doesn't do a bunch of that. He dribbles well, but can shoot it. And it doesn't translate to what we expect greatness to look like. He just looks like us, who hits a bunch of shots.
Well, and a lot of it, there's just volume.
Yeah.
And Karl Malone and Tim Duncan kind of fall into this conversation too, of guys who, because it's not sexy, it was never as appreciated. And Karl Malone, a lot of his was just volume. Like, he played for 20-something years.
But both of those dudes, if you lined up Karl Malone, Tim Duncan, and Steph Curry and go pick the 2 superstars in this crew, you just look at him and go, Karl Malone's 6'8" and looks like he was still the tree trunk, and Tim Duncan's 7 feet tall. I mean, you pick those guys as the guys you'd think are the ones to idolize. Steph's just a 6'3" guy who looks like everybody else.
And Steph is this season is going to move into the top 25 in all-time scoring, ahead of Jerry West. By the end of next season, he's probably going to be near the top 10. It comes fast at a certain point, but I'm as these numbers pile up, I think it's good for us to take a step back and go, man, this dude is doing some things. And on top of that, the team success that he's had.
Yes.
Because, quite frankly, you remember he's in the same draft class as James Harden. James Harden scored more points than Steph has, but it doesn't feel like James Harden is in the same category as a player as Steph. But because he's got that team success, he's doing these individual things that are just mind blowing, and because, quite frankly, probably because he's done it with one team, it's even more impressive. He's in a year or in an era where all the top guys are seemingly mercenaries moving around year to year. LeBron's done it, KD has done it, James Harden has certainly done it. Steph's at Russell Westbrook, the other guys who have put up those crazy numbers in this generation have all done it all over the place, except for Steph. He's been with
Steph, Tim, and Kobe. They're the three that never varied, were always there, and only Steph and Tim.
Dirk.
And Dirk too. Dirk belongs in that conversation. And Dirk belongs in it even further. The next thing about Steph is never a whiff, never a problem, never a beef, never a negative headline, nothing negative. Happily married, proud of his wife. I mean, nothing extraneous. Now, not to say there isn't, but I'm just saying there has never been a whiff of any of that, which has made him so remarkably everyman. You know what I mean? There's no drama with Steph.
Well, there's none with LeBron either.
Well, no, there is. LeBron, I'm moving. I'm taking my talents. I'm my kid. I'm putting him on the team. There's LeBron-ness. There's no Steph-ness. There's a LeBron-ness that arrives, that there's just more to LeBron than just LeBron. You feel like Steph probably drives himself to work, shows up. You know what I mean? Like LeBron's showing up with a limo driver and all that. And Steph's showing up in a nice car, but he's showing up on his own, doing his business and going home, where you feel like LeBron's got a motorcade and people landing and helicopters and all that. That Steph's just the every dude that, other than Larry Bird, in my life, there's only been two players that when they shot, I was more surprised that they missed. And think about that. In the history of basketball, think of the guys that you were surprised when they missed. Not when they, and Steph and Larry, and when they shoot, you go, well, there's two, there's three. And then they miss, you go, oh, what happened? There's only two guys in the history of my basketball fandom that every time they shot, when they missed, I was more surprised than if they had made.
And Steph is doing it in a way that it's like, I mean, he's 40 feet from the basket. Sometimes he lets it go, and it's like you expect those things to work, which is insane, but it typically does, which is just kind of is shocking. Do you think there's any? You think there's any active players that could get to 4,000 threes?
Trae Young would have to play for a long time, but I think Trae would probably be the only one that's currently out there. And there might be one or two rookies that no rookies this year that are going to be chasing it. There's none of those guys have that game, but there's a few that are going to be coming around the bend. The way this game is, and it won't be the same game in 10 years as it is now. But at some point, they're going to reel it in. There won't be the free-flowing movement. They're going to have to try to change some things. So I don't think there will be a player that's going to have such easy access where the shot met moment, where free-flowing movement to the game met Steph Curry, who's shooting from distance, the likes of which we've never seen. It took that to get to the 40. And there'll be a pendulum swing back where we're going to say, man, 130 a night's too much. We're going to start calling some fouls or not calling fouls and letting the hands and, let's play some better defense. And then
maybe big men will start to play basketball again. And it'll turn, you never know.
I get the sense that the pendulum will bring it back as we start getting into these crazy scores. But as far as the ability, it's going to take a dude that's going to be playing for 20 years. And whoever that is just beginning his career. And Trae Young right now might be the only dude that even has a prayer of going that far.
Yeah, everybody who's in the mix right now, the youngest of those guys is, I guess the youngest one is Dame Lillard.
Yeah, but that his clock is ticking, man.
He's at 27.94.
He ain't gonna get it.
He ain't gonna get there, but he's he started in 2012.
Yeah, that's
only 3 years after Steph started. It really is just an absurd number. It's absurd to see what Steph has done. And I just wanted to take a minute and be like, wow, you know what I mean?
We all should. And I still, even when he retires, we'll watch a bunch of video, but we really won't realize the depth of his effect on the league until he is well gone, because this is a one of one so far.
Yep. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, I want to talk about the decision that the Spurs made yesterday. Rob and I have been discussing it. We'll talk about whether it's the right one and how to take advantage of this for the rest of this season. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to tell you guys about Cerebral. If you are one of these people who is having a hard time, you're digging through social media and you're beating yourself up because everybody else's life seems so good, or maybe you're just tired of seeing all the nonsense, the drama, and you just want to not get sucked in, but you can't help yourself. Guys, sometimes it's better to not worry about the things that you can't control and worry about you. Just spend 45 minutes focusing on how you're doing. And Cerebral makes it easier than ever to do just that, to access dedicated therapists, doctor-prescribed medication, personalized to you. And the best part is they've got in-network care. So you're able to do this without worrying about the cost. You're dealing with stress, anxiety. You're dealing with a rough time in your relationship. You're dealing with a life transition. Sometimes it just helps to have someone to talk those things through with. And Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. And they work with your insurance plan to help lower the cost, which is a key thing. So it's the last thing you want to worry about. Cerebral's proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health just as important. And Cerebral is here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall well-being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with your insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have some road work on 35 southbound Martin Street on down to Cesar Chavez. It's got the roadway reduced to just one lane. On Loop 410 southbound 35, that stalls off to the shoulder. The stall we had 1604 westbound Lockdale Selma, that is cleared. Right now, in good shape as you head out and about. And Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Spring break in South Texas isn't complete without a visit to Six Flags Fiesta Texas. And 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star has free tickets all week long. Listen to the Morning Huddle for your chance to score free passes to the park. It's spring break, fun-filled and action-packed. Don't miss your shot to win from the Morning Huddle and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Welcome to The Hangar, Petrenko, your go-to spot for mouthwatering wings, ice-cold cocktails, and an unforgettable atmosphere. Come taste some of the best wings in town, served by their friendly staff with even friendlier cocktails. Only at Hangar Petrenko, where great food, drinks, and friends come together.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I got to fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LIFE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LIFE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LIFE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code LIFE.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from The Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to to find out how much your home is worth, visit Orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
The NFL lives right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right. Wrapping up the second hour of our program here on a Friday. Oh, you got big plans this weekend, Robert?
What was that?
You got big plans this weekend?
No, kind of. I got a little work scheduled. I'm going to go to Spurs game tonight.
You're just you are going to the Spurs game?
Yeah, my brother. I'm not going to go in an official capacity. I'm going to go drink some beer and watch the Hornets.
Nice. Play. That's the way to do it, man. I haven't been to a Spurs game like that, and I don't even know how long.
It's been a long time since I've gotten to sit in a real seat.
Man, what a luxury.
But I'm not spending a weekend down on La Jolla and spending the California kind of dreaming kind of weekend like you are.
Well, listen, Rob, it's kind of like remember when you had that really terrible trip to Denmark when you were really poor and you were struggling?
Yeah, Copenhagen, yes.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm dealing with here.
It's terrible life you're living, I know.
Yeah, I'm staying north of Balboa Park, so it's like
it's a rough place. What Balboa Park,
ideal.
by the way, for those unaware, is what a fabulous place. Sunday afternoon in Balboa is a great place to be.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. I'm excited to get out and have a little time with the fam. It'll be a good thing.
Yeah,
good thing.
Well,
17 games into De'Aaron Fox Spurs career, his season has come to an end. I ain't mad at it. You and I have talked about it quite a bit. Like we knew that when they brought him in, we knew that he's had this lingering injury going back to last training camp. Last October, or excuse me, training camp last October. That's when he was starting to be banged up. We knew he was going to have some sort of procedure in the offseason. Why wait at this point?
Although I mean, with a bad pinky, you're still going and getting 30 and 10. I mean, you kind of go, maybe you don't want to fix this, but yeah,
well, no,
I mean,
you want to fix it.
It's due. I get it. We're getting what we wanted, but at the same time, just like Castle needs reps, so does De'Aaron. I mean, we want to get him in the corporate system. So 17 games is kind of a taste. I think he's finally starting to get comfortable after a month, but
I think so too.
He's not fully in this offense immersed by any stretch. So I'd like to see the more reps, but the greater good is being served. But man, this is going to be a tough team to follow.
It feels like I've seen enough to where I'm like, yeah, this guy, we're going to be okay with this. Will there be more? Sure. I don't doubt that. But I think we've seen enough to know that there's something to be excited about next year. And get right. You're going to fit in just fine when it's all said and done. And by the way, him getting immersed in this offense right now, how much does it matter? Because this isn't what the real offense is going to be when Wemby's here.
Well, that and who's going to be coaching next year, because
exactly.
I don't think it's going to be Mitch by any stretch. All of these, the sum total is no Wemby, no chance. So now is the moment that we realize that's it. carry on about next year. Go get yourself healthy, and let's run the reps and go do the things that we can do with this team. The sad part about this is because the Spurs are so far away from the bottom four and so far away from the play-in or playoffs that they can legitimately go out and try to win basketball games and really not affect their outcome. They'll really not affect what happens at the end of the season. So, that's the one part about not having De'Aaron, and, that would have been nice because, quite frankly, we can go out and try to win games, and it really doesn't affect our status as far as, the lottery. But now we're destined. I saw a projection that they figured the Spurs might win 3 games before the end of the season. I think we're down to maybe 2 if we're lucky.
Yeah, but I mean, again, winning games right now is not the priority. If they come, they come. If not,
but
then
it
whatever.
could have been. It could have been the priority. We could have attacked the rest of the season. Like tonight, we're waking up and we're focusing and we're going to do everything that a winning team would do today. Well, now we're not even going to do that.
De'Aaron Fox being out. Also, we talked about this a little bit. I would say Steph's Rookie of the Year chances improved drastically, and in fact, they did improve drastically in the last 24 hours. I'm guessing based on this news and the assumption that he's going to get the lion's share of those minutes. Would you be surprised if I told you now that Steph's odds to win Rookie of the Year are bigger than Shea's odds to win MVP?
Well, he's not. What if not Steph? Who?
That's
Zach Edey had a little bit. Yves Messi had a little bit of a run there, but really, it's not about. And Steph has earned it. I mean, he's leading the rookies in minutes, I think, and leading the rookies in free throws taken and things like.
There isn't anybody trying to run away with this thing.
I think it by default now that he's
Jalen Wells is the second favorite.
Jalen Wells. Yeah.
But again, I don't think there's just no one like who seems to be running away with this award. So you're right. It is almost by default. This is not, at least for one year in, this is not some kind of world-class rookie group.
This is about lower average when we get down to it. And not that Steph hasn't been above average. This is just a lower average crew. And because Shea is facing off against Joker going 30, 20, and 20, I can see why the odds are a little bit lower. Though I do think behind closed doors, when it comes time to vote, the NBA typically awards those that kind of earned it previously. You don't always have to do great this year. You just got to stay in the running, is what you did last year, too. Also kind of applies to the MVP. So I think Shea's going to get it, even though you could argue that Joker's still the best player in the world, but it's just Shea's turn. I
think you reward the guy who's playing that well on a team that is just head and shoulders ahead of the rest of the group.
They're that much better. Yeah, it's all of that. So I think we're down that we're 17, 18, 19 games left for most teams. I don't see a lot of variance in these awards. I don't know. The Defensive Player of the Year is going to be interesting to see how that shakes out because there's a lot of different candidates. But I think
Evan Mobley's minus 225. And I think that has to do with Jaren Jackson being hurt.
Yeah, forever out. So I think that might even be in pin as well. But I cannot imagine that Steph already has a Rookie of the Year locked up. And unless he gets hurt or something and Joker closes out the year with some kind of phenomenal stat stuff and run, I just kind of think it's done, even though you could make a fair and maybe true argument that Joker's still the MVP. Just by he's the best player in the world. It's just not his turn anymore.
Yeah, there are only 4 players that you can even bet on MVP right now, and 2 of them are 500 to 1. Jason Tatum and Giannis, both 500 to 1. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander minus 550. Jokic is plus 380. In the Rookie of the Year, Steph Castle now minus 750. The next closest guy I mentioned, Jalen Wells, 11 to 1. Zach Reese-Shea, 16 to 1. Yeah. Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley, minus 225. Dyson Daniels, 5 to 1. Jaren Jackson and Draymond, both 9 to 1. Lugans Dort, 15 to 1. And Shea, 35 to 1. And then the most improved player, another minus 275 favorite. You know who that is?
Most improved? I know.
Cade Cunningham.
Oh, this is the definition of why this award should be awarded. Yes, he is the most improved player in the league, and it's not because of injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just has gotten that much better.
The NBA, no one likes to hear most improved because it does mean, yeah, you weren't that good before. But in the NFL, what they give out is the comeback player of the year, and people want to make that the improved player. But really, it's the guy who it either turns into you sucked last year and now you're good award, or you got hurt and now you came back and played well award. But in the NBA, they just call it the most improved. They say, yeah, you weren't that good before. You're really good now. Cade Cunningham, minus 275. I think that's an appropriate number. He's been phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And the other award that's basically locked up is Coach of the Year, minus 800 for Kenny Atkinson to be the Coach of the Year.
I want to throw something out here that has been kind of discussed kind of behind the scenes, that there's a cadre, a group of NBA voters that won't vote for Jokic again because they don't want him to get a fourth MVP. That they don't want to put him in that kind of air yet. What do you think of that?
I'm not surprised by that. I think we always look at that and go,
do we want to put Joker up there with Michael? Do we want to put Joker up there with Wilt and Bill Russell? Are we ready to put him by those numbers? This pudgy Euro dude. Are we ready to admit that he's up there? I don't know. I mean, because this dude just threw down this week a 30-20-20 game. What? And I think I do believe that there is a quotient of people out there like, I'm not going to put him up there with Magic and Michael. I'm not going to do that. This is our game. I'm not going to do that.
And if you remember, there was a real discussion to be made that in the year that he didn't win, when he finished second to Embiid, you could have made a good argument for him.
So I don't know if when it comes down to it, that would be a sway, but I do think there's a little bit of this is our game. I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to give it to you yet. I'm going to give it to somebody else until there's a better argument for me to put you literally up on a plateau that only 2 or 3 people have ever reached. And you're an international dude who really doesn't even care that much about the game. You know?
Well, I mean, think about that. If you give him a fourth one, you're putting him in that. He's tied now with Wilt and LeBron.
Are we ready to admit that he should be there? Because he should, but are we as American and as our game, are we willing to do this?
I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that is there is voter fatigue. Mm-hmm. And I think that teams or these guys that vote are like, yeah. And I wonder how it's going to get with Shohei Ohtani. Like, because Shohei Ohtani, again, the years that he pitches and hits, you can make an argument every year that he's the most valuable player. And then last year when he didn't pitch, he was still the most valuable player. Mm-hmm. It's like at some point are they going to go, like, is there
can we say this about Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani? Can we put him there?
Or do we need to make a different award? Like, what are we doing? Because like, can we just give this guy the award every single year of his career? It doesn't seem right, because they didn't want to do that for guys like Barry Bonds, even when it felt like, well, so obvious this guy's the MVP. It wasn't every single year. But yeah, I wonder if Jokic and I mean, again, you like you mentioned, what Jokic is doing right now is just incredible. I don't think he's going to win it this year. I think because there is another viable candidate, and that's what these guys are going to default to. Mm-hmm. When this guy is great, this guy who's great every single year is great again. Is there another guy that we can kind of make a case for? And I think that, you know, the year that Embiid won over Joker, I think that was the thought was. Right. Is there anyone we can even make a case for? And you know what? I don't agree with this, but there are people who said that that's what the NFL did this year with Josh Allen, because they didn't want to give Lamar Jackson another one.
I do believe, because you start stacking them up and you go, okay, so Lamar gets another one. So now in the annals of NFL time, we're comparing Lamar, who doesn't have a Super Bowl, we're comparing him to Joe Montana. We can't do that, but by the numbers, you kind of have to.
Yeah. So it's it is, there's politics in it, and that's not fair. I don't know, but that's the reality of it, and that's always going to be the case. So this is a year where I ain't mad at it because I do think Shea is deserving, but I also understand, dude, what this guy is doing, what Jokic is doing is still wildly impressive, and if somebody says I'm voting for him, I'm not mad at him about it. But I do think that there are people who are just not going to vote for him because of that reason. And that might not be fair, but I do understand it.
The good news is
I do understand that fatigue.
He doesn't care. The good news is Joker does not give a crap. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Gil just won't eventually. This year he does because it's awfully nice to be named that. But Joker, after a couple of them, man, the dude
good to
wants
get
to
one
go
in your
home
pocket, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
I'll go
You
raise
get one in
my
your
horses.
pocket, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll raise my horses. I'll see you next November.
Yeah. All right. We're at the halfway mark, baby. 2 more hours of show to go in the week. We'll try and make them good ones. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is heading to Vegas, and you're coming with us. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas for Mega March, March 27th through the 30th. Catch baseball's opening day and all of the hoops action at the world's largest sports book. Then take the party to Stadium Swim with 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. Book now at CircaLasVegas.com with promo code BLITZ and join us at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, sun, spirits, and a sure bet for an unforgettable time.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Eat Lux your way with the new $5 Classic, $7 Supreme, and $9 Discovery Lux Craving Boxes from Taco Bell at participating stores for a limited time only. While supplies last, price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Pizza craving? We've got you covered at Round Table Pizza. We've been crafting pizzas with premium, high-quality ingredients for over 60 years. From our made-from-scratch dough to our savory toppings piled all the way to the edge. Find your nearest location or order delivery at roundtablepizza.com.
Guys, if you're not feeling like yourself anymore, testosterone therapy or TRT may be the answer. Look for the VIP treatment with the TRT experts at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. With over a decade of TRT experience, book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sportsbook, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at CircaLasVegas.com. And join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line, golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
T-Mobile Home Internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
I'm rehearsing. There are so many benefits. You got to talk fast.
T-Mobile Home Internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on them.
Get T-Mobile Home Internet all in for just $55 a month with auto pay and any postpaid voice line.
Additional terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/award.
George gets justice. When you've been injured, you need to get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, because you need someone who understands your pain and the impact an accident has on your life. You need someone who listens and is always there fighting for you and your future. When you get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you get all this and more. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. And remember, you won't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas at 210-225-0909. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like a new trouble spot on 281 southbound East Sonterra. That's all broken down right in the right lane. Highway 90 westbound 36th Street west side disabled vehicle. Actually, it's a stalled 18-wheeler blocking the left lane. I-10 westbound at Hildebrand got a stalled. It's now off to the shoulder. And another stall 35 southbound Thousand Oaks, right lane blocked. And Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs season continues, though drudgingly slow, as more bad news arrived. De'Aaron Fox, his season is over. He'll undergo surgery on a tendon in his left pinky. College basketball tournaments in full swing as the Texas Longhorns took down the Aggies 94-89 in double overtime. Longhorns improved their selection resume and may very well have made it in. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Rob, somebody sent me a reel of Luka in his rookie year, where Luka, he had 25 dunks in his rookie season, and he's had 2 dunks in the last 3 dunks in the last 2 years combined.
I didn't know that.
And it said, thank God he discovered processed foods in America, or man, we would have been finished.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the light beer here is a little bit heavier in Europe.
That's right. That is right. So thank goodness, man. That would have been a disaster if Luka was still just out there in shape, just tearing us all up. You mentioned you are headed out to the game tonight as the Spurs start the De'Aaron-less era by taking on the Charlotte Hornets, who, I mean, you talk about it. When you said they might have 2 wins left in them, I mean, the Spurs this might be one of them. Spurs 3.5-point favorites in tonight's game, a total of 229.5. What do you? I mean, there's some discussion that it's going to be Steph. Who do you think? What do you think the starting 5 looks like tonight? I guess is the way I'll first present it to you.
I think it should be Chris and Steph and Devin. Yeah, Chris, Steph, and Devin. On the back. Your front line, who knows? I mean, I'd play Mamu every night, but that's kind of out of our control. So whoever you decide on the front line, I don't really care what goes on up there. I really don't. I mean, my concern is how those guards are working and who's going to get some more time. And Keldon, I want coming off the bench. That's the one thing I do know that has worked this year is Keldon coming off as the 6th man. I don't. Then
it sounds like if that's who you want as your 6th man, Barnes and Sohan likely going to be your front court guys.
And the thing is, I don't think Sohan or Barnes will be a starter next year. I don't think either one should be, but they're excellent parts to a team. So I don't really care what goes on in that front line because all those guys are going to be rotating around over the next couple of months or years, quite frankly, until we're settled in with Wemby and this and that. But I know this backcourt, what it's going to look like next year, and it's going to involve De'Aaron and Steph Castle. I know that. So I'd like to see Steph Castle in that starting lineup.
Yeah, I'm with you. See some more of the guy. Let's see what we got. And I think we all
true lead guard, not Chris Paul bringing the ball up. I'm talking about Steph. Let's see if you can be a lead guard. I know De'Aaron's going to do it. I know that De'Aaron's going to have that job. Don't get me wrong. But I also know that Steph has every skill set to do that too. And I want to see him doing that.
There's one really interesting game on the NBA slate tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers are at the Grizzlies. The Cavs, who a 15-game winning streak right now.
Yeah.
Heading into Memphis, Cavs -1.5. At some point, the Cavs have to lose another game, right? But is it going to be this one? I don't know.
Well, on the road in Memphis, there's certainly a built-in excuse to lose. I mean, this is a game that you, as a realist, you look at and go, this isn't a game I expect to win. I don't care how good I am. I mean, you're going into a very good Western Conference Memphis team who is they're a little dinged up, but they match up well. There's no other team that can get about as big as you are when they want to. It's a measuring stick game. They should beat them, but losing in Memphis is not an embarrassing thing. And I would pick Memphis in this game just because after you've won 15 straight, it's just one of those. Eventually, you're going to flip to tails. You can hit heads only so often.
No, that's a good point. Eventually, or you're just that much better than everybody else. I don't know.
Well, I do believe they are. But when you go into Memphis, I think in the back of your mind in March into April, and you got a roadie and you're really hot, there's kind of a built-in excuse. We lost to Memphis. We did win 15 straight, though. Let's take a deep breath and let's continue to go at it because tonight we just weren't quite as zoned in, and the target's big. We're on the road against a superstar and a very good team.
I saw a tweet the other day. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who are 55-10 with 17 games left, the Cleveland Browns finished 3-14. So despite the fact that the Cavaliers play 65 more games, there's a real possibility they finish the regular season with fewer losses than the Browns.
That is such a humiliating stat.
It really is, isn't it?
Just absolutely. We have lost as many games as y'all.
Oh,
fair enough.
That is embarrassing, but also pretty hilarious. I enjoyed that, and I don't think the Cavs are going to lose 4 more games this season.
I wonder how much the Cav fan has adopted this team.
Dude, I know there's no LeBron, but if I'm from Cleveland and I'm watching, I'm invested in this team because they're young. They're obviously really good, and they're pretty fun to watch. Like, I don't know how you couldn't enjoy watching this team play. Like, this is a fun team.
I assume Cleveland has become kind of a basketball town. I mean, the NBA's been there forever, but they've always been kind of really basically third in the hierarchy. They're maybe even fourth behind Ohio State football too. So I wonder how much the Cleveland fandom has really jumped on the bandwagon for what is truly not just a one-year team. This is a team built for 4 or 5 years of really high-end success with the youth that they've got put together.
I think once the Indians changed to the Guardians, that dropped that baseball team down below them. I think now the Cavs are probably third behind the Browns and Ohio State. Actually, behind Ohio State and the Browns, I should say.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, but I can't imagine. Listen, man, you start winning rings. I know those guys are football crazed up there, but
I just can envision like another mid-market team that had a roster and that they could win 70 games. I know what it would be like here in San Antonio. There wouldn't be a place you could turn without a flag or somebody in silver and black or in paint. I'm talking 24/7 nonstop.
What do you think it's like in Oklahoma City right now?
Exactly. I mean, there is nothing but thunder talk. That's all there is.
Especially because OU sucks at football now, and
all of that. So I wonder if Cleveland is enjoying it the way that Oklahoma City is.
I would hope so. I mean, dude, I would hope that even some of these teams, like Memphis, who doesn't often have this kind of success, they're sitting in the 2 seed slot. I would hope they're enjoying what they've got right now because they might not have it for much longer.
True. They've been burned so often. They get jumped on and then they fall apart. I think they're going to have to win a couple of playoff games before I'm a Memphis fan really riding this,
Because I'll tell you, I was talking to my buddy, and I'll tell you one place where they're crazy right now is Detroit.
Yeah, that's another.
And a lot of it is a lot of it just depends on how long it's been since you had a taste of the good stuff. And when the Pistons are winning, they are the biggest thing in that town, even bigger than the Lions. Now the Lions until recently have just been, historically dog food. But when the Pistons are on it, that town just adopts them in a way that they don't anyone else.
They're a hot sports town right now too. I mean,
he was saying right now, man, they are pumped for Detroit basketball, even though, I mean, listen, I don't know what their ceiling is, but I do know that they're 1 game out of a home playoff game after being the worst team in the NBA a year ago. Like, and that's kind of what gives you some hope if you're a Spurs fan.
Yes.
Like,
you can flip it.
The turnaround can happen real quick, and just like with Wemby, and I think certainly with Steph, you're only kind of scratched the surface of what these guys can be. And we mentioned earlier what Cade Cunningham is finally becoming. Sometimes it takes a few years. Not everybody shows up and just takes the league by storm. It doesn't usually work that way.
Especially those lead guards. It just takes some time. It really does.
But now Cade Cunningham is blossoming into what the Pistons thought he was going to be when they used the first pick on him. And it's like, yeah, now you're starting to see what we can do.
I like what you said just a second ago. I still got kind of the hair on the back of my neck stood up when you said Detroit basketball. I mean, when that Detroit, when they were in the early 2000s, that was as difficult a place to play as anywhere, college or pro. I've never been in a more hostile environment than Detroit.
Well, and that's what was so cool about them versus the Spurs was both of them are obviously, when, like you said, when things are going well, they become these basketball crazed cities, and going head to head it was awesome.
The fire that comes from a pro basketball teams, it's different than college. There's a little bit more of an edge to pro fandom than college fandom. It's unique.
Now, that said, we will, in the next segment, what we're going to do is take a look at college basketball and look at some of the games that happened last night. Look forward to some of the games that are happening tonight. Vic, I know I've got some giveaways. Inform me what I've got so I can give some things to the people.
We have, let me look here. Okay, we do have the SA Gunslingers. We have a spring break giveaway and tickets to see Russell Howard.
So we got the Six Flags. Fiesta, Texas.
Let's do Russell Howard right now. Let's go ahead and give away some Russell Howard tickets. Let's go with where's he playing? The Aztec or the
Aztec? The Aztec on March the 19th. If you need more details, livenation.com.
Thank you very much for that, Rob. So let's go caller number 3. You're going to go to that show on March 19th. All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back. We'll talk some college hoop on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic is back. And it's all about having a great time. Grab your buddies and ladies too. And hit the course for a fun, laid-back day of golf, laughs, and a little friendly competition at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, April 14th. It's just $120 a player or $400 for a foursome. A solid deal for a day of good times with your crew. The Spring Golf Classic benefits the Pan American Golf Association. But don't worry, this isn't some high-stakes tournament. It's all about kicking back, having fun, and making memories. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Ancira.com and PBL Motorhomes. After you've crushed it on the course, join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Cold drinks, great food, and good times with all of your buddies. So grab your spot, grab your crew, and tee off for a day of unforgettable fun. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. Swing it!
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Mitch in Pittsburgh, what's your story?
Yeah, I got tatted up. It was 9/28, and I decided to tattoo myself. And me and my 3 friends all got 9/28 tattooed on the side of our ankle, and we're all infected.
Yeah, speaking of the Rust Belt, a little tetanus never hurt anybody.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio, are you ready? The 2025 NCAA Men's Final Four is coming to the Alamo City. The NCAA Men's Final Four Fan Fest, presented by Capital One, brings fun for all ages. Fan Fest is a sports wonderland of interactive games with celebrity and athlete appearances, giveaways, and much more. Come ready to play April 4th through the 7th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. The event is free for kids 12 and under, Capital One card holders, military personnel, and 2025 Final Four ticket holders. Visit ncaa.com/men's Final Four.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
The St. Patty's Day parties at the Roo Pub are legendary, and this year it will be the biggest ever, spanning 2 days. Sunday, March 16th, it's a crawfish boil, all you can eat for $10. Then on St. Patrick's Day, Monday, it's a block party. The green beer will be flowing with live music starting at 2 with Irish Goodbye. Finding Friday takes the stage at 5. DJs inside both the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant. Plan now to celebrate St. Patrick's Day the right way at the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live at the Round Table Pizza location in Stone Oak, where you have the chance to not only get pizza for a year, but you buy one, you get one free.
We will go over all the Cowboys news of the week with our friend John Machota from The Athletic. He joins us at 5:15.
The Blitz live at Round Table Pizza, the Stone Oak location.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning, everybody. Oh, sing it, baby. Yeah. I wanna rock right now. Yeah. Morning Huddle 94.1. What a great day it is. Rob, I don't know if you're aware, it is Steak and BJ Day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
March 14th. It's a big day.
It's Pie Day.
Big day.
Today's
Pie
Pie
Day.
Day.
Your wife's out of town. I'm sorry.
Now we celebrate the math of this. It's Pi Day.
Yeah.
3.1.
Oh.
Yeah. Bunch of nerds. Yeah, today's Pie Day.
Yeah.
That other one. is celebrated by a very lucky few.
Well, hey,
have those in the home to help them do those kind of celebrations.
We'll see what it's like.
So
we'll see what it's like, Rob.
While you're celebrating one holiday, I'll be doing math.
There are places where you can invest.
I'm going to round out to the 17th decimal point.
Invest in companionship, Rob. That's what it's all about. Investing in companionship.
Every now and then I'll go right hand and go with a stranger.
This is if you're not so lucky, you might just have to sit around watching college basketball all day.
Oh yeah.
And I got news for you, man. It's kicking off early, and we've got some damn good games today, Rob. Well, I guess we'll start with what happened yesterday. At least the big games that happened yesterday. Duke knocked off Georgia Tech 78-70. We talked about how it didn't make sense for Duke to bury that team, to beat them by 25 points, and they didn't. But also they lost Cooper Flagg early in that game. Well, I say early in the first half of that game. Did not return. I don't expect him to return tonight. Do you think that it impacts them directly today against North Carolina, or do you think that they're able to power through without him and move on to the ACC final?
They're still deep. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Maluch is a top 10 pick. That Cap Cup, whatever, is a top 10 pick. There's depth there. They could have won the ACC probably without Cooper Flagg. Are they a Final Four team without him? Probably not, but they're a Sweet 16 team on talent alone. And if they beat North Carolina with one arm tied behind their back, which might very well happen, that could be the best possible scenario for what went on in Kansas City with University of Texas. It would guarantee, I think, their entry. So I think there's a lot of stuff at play in here. And Duke might just pack it in. So it could be the other direction. Duke might just go, well, we're not going to win this. And we're just going to prepare for probably being the number 4 overall seed. Let's go back and practice and get healthy.
The two teams that are awaiting them, one of them is going to be awaiting them tomorrow anyway. Clemson and Louisville both had scares. Clemson gets a 57-54 win over SMU. Certainly not their most impressive performance of the year, but it was a grind. I mean, 57-54. It sounds like a high school score. It was one of those types of games. And there was a Chase Hunter hit a shot late in the game that was just like it looked like it had no business going in, fade away, and it drops, and that was kind of the end of it for them.
What scared me about Clemson, and I've watched them play a couple of times, is that's a team that's not afraid to be behind by 5, 6, 8 points. They don't worry. They'll grind you down. They're going to catch up. They just don't worry. They just do their job, and eventually you'll make a mistake, and they won't.
Yeah. And then we talked about, speaking of mistakes, the mistake that Stanford made at the end of the game that cost them any shot against Louisville. I mean, does it get worse than that, Rob?
That's literally the worst thing. I don't know what's worse. You can lose a game. You don't know one loses a game by themselves, but what would be worse in your mind? What happened last night? Stanford dude throws it to the wrong guy that hits a 3 to beat you, or you have 2 free throws to win a game. What's worse? What would be the worst scenario? The slow anguish of missing a free throw, then missing another, or the instantaneous death of the pass, the 3, the shot, your season and your career is over?
I think the free throws would be worse. I mean, as bad as it was yesterday. I mean, being up there on the line and like, especially once the first one gets missed and you see the look on his face and you know the second one's not going either. That's painful. But again, last night, like that dude he threw the ball away and instantly like fell down on his face and knew that he had just blown it. What a terrible way to lose.
Poor bastard.
And it's way less. It's way more rare. It's not something you see very often. Like you get a big rebound and you immediately pass it back to the team that just missed a shot and they get the game winner off your assist. That's a bad look. In the Big 12. Houston took care of business against Colorado, although it was ugly, 77-68. We talked about, I don't know if Houston had really any reason to run them out, knowing that the real competition's coming up.
Yep.
Texas Tech Baylor was a phenomenal game. 76-74 was the final. JT Toppin, 26-10 and 3 blocks in that one. Norchad Omier was the best player for Baylor. He had 29. Not a great game for VJ Edgecombe. He ends up with 11 points and 7 boards, 5 assists. That all sounds good. But he was 4 of 13 from the field, including 0 for 3 from 3. I assume we will see VJ Edge come in the tournament, but if that's not a great visual for our last look at him. BYU gets a win over Iowa State. Iowa State still a little shorthanded. I don't know if that was on purpose. I don't know if guys could have played. They just didn't want to risk guys going back to back. But a huge win for BYU, which lines them up with Houston today, who I just don't think they've got any shot in hell of beating. And then in the Big East, we'll hit them quickly. St. John's blew out Butler, and Marquette got a.
Before we go past St. John's,
okay,
that is a team you cannot prepare for. If you haven't played against St. John's, unless you're practicing with 8 dudes on the court, you can barely get the ball over half court. And keep in mind, this is a team in Marquette that had seen this. They knew what was coming. This is what they do, and they couldn't do it. St. John's they're not an underdog. They're about to win or be very close to a Big East champ, but I don't think there's another team out there short of Houston, which everybody's afraid of for lots of good reasons, that you just can't prepare for. You're not going to be ready until you see it.
That's these teams, especially in these quick turnaround tournaments, are just so terrifying. And the other Big East team that was a top 25 team, Marquette, got a comeback win over Xavier in the quarterfinals there. In the SEC, where it just means more, Rob, the Fighting Aggies of Texas A&M put up all the fight they could. They dropped 94-89 in double overtime to Texas. And again, it was Texas just kind of like doing everything they could, just knowing that they had to get that win. Mm-hmm. But you know who else was in that same boat? Was Oklahoma. And I think Oklahoma's probably in, but man, a win last night would have certainly locked it up for them. Kentucky gets an 85-84 win over Oklahoma. Kentucky had a 10-point lead with like 90 seconds left, and then Kentucky had to hit a game winner with a half a second on the clock to send Oklahoma home. So it was a phenomenal last 2 minutes in the SEC there. Missouri gets a pretty handy win over Mississippi State, 85-73 as well. And then in the Big Ten, poor Northwestern. Their ACs weren't working, and it showed. They go down 70-63 to Wisconsin. Purdue 76-71 win over USC.
Let me tell you, that was a hard-fought, well-earned win for Purdue. They probably shouldn't have won that game.
Yeah, and Eric Musselman was pissed. He thought they kind of got the shaft, and he kind of has a good point. Oregon with a blow-by win against Indiana, 72-59. They crushed them. And Illinois 106-94 winners against Iowa, who just stinks. But that leads us into today's slate, Rob, which is awesome. We're getting early morning action with Oregon and Michigan State. That's the first game, at least power conference game on the board. Michigan State a 5.5-point favorite. Oregon playing really good ball though. I think that's a phenomenal game. And then we get into SEC action, baby. At I guess it's going to be around noon y'all's time. I'm out here now. It's like the Oregon Michigan State game tips at 9:00 in the morning here. It's so weird.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But Ole Miss Auburn is coming up at noon.
And be careful, Ole Miss. They got a puncher's chance here. Auburn doesn't have to do anything. I mean, if they want the SEC title, they can go get it. But, you know, it's a secondary goal. And Chris Beard's got that team believing that they can beat anybody right now.
No, you're right. You're right. And they're a dangerous team. Wichita takes on Memphis in the AAC, also at 11, up at Fort Worth, the Dickies Arena. Memphis, a 9.5-point favorite. I've said it all year long, Rob. Don't bet Memphis as a big favorite. And Memphis has played Wichita twice this year. When they were in Memphis, Memphis won by 8. And then when they were in Wichita won the game in overtime. And now I'm getting almost 10 points with Wichita.
Yeah.
I like Wichita here, and especially knowing that Memphis is now in a tournament format where they're not going to want to, burn everything up. They just don't seem to blow out teams. I like Wichita at least to keep it close today.
They really do force 11 turnovers a game. That Wichita ball hawks. So if they do force those turnovers, it could get away from them real quick.
Maybe kind of an under the radar best game on the board today. Wisconsin and UCLA.
UCLA, baby.
UCLA is playing so well right now, And Wisconsin was playing really well early in the season. They've kind of been tampered down a little bit.
Good win yesterday. They're running. They're shooting. This is not going to be a typical Wisconsin UCLA kind of game. I think both teams going to score 75 or better.
That's going to be a real fun game. The total's 141.5.
I like it.
So if you think they score 75, we got a good little play there. Tennessee and Texas, I promise they won't score 70 something apiece.
I feel bad for Texas because they're to ask them, and I'm sure Coach Terry's going to tell them, you have to win today. If you want to guarantee that you're playing next Thursday or Friday, you have to win today. The fact is, I think they don't have to. And this is to play the double overtime, give every last ounce of it. And then to have to wake up today, shake off all that lactic acid and get ready to go again. Man, this is brutal.
Rob,
all they got to do is acquit themselves well today. That's it.
Not only that, you played such a physical team in Texas A&M, and then you played a double overtime game. And mind you, Texas had already played 2 days ago. So this is now their third game in 3 days. They've got a double overtime game under the belt. Now they're playing maybe the one team that's more physical than A&M and
certainly
Tennessee.
Stronger, certainly bigger.
And if you're lucky enough to win, your big prize is playing Auburn, the best team in the SEC. It's like, what? How is this supposed to even be possible?
So do you believe they're in?
Do
you think they're in? I do. I think that win was good enough.
I think I think that win went a long way. I think if they lost yesterday, they were for sure done. I don't know, Rob. I really don't. I guess if you put a gun to my head, I'd say they're in, but I don't feel good about it. I think that Rodney Terry's smart to say we've got to win this game today, because if they win this game today, there's no doubt that they're in.
Boy, that's big ass.
It is. It really is. Marquette and St. John's, the Big East semifinals today. St. John's -4.5 in that one. Illinois and Maryland in the Big Ten. That's going to be a damn good game too. Maryland been playing some great ball, and Illinois at least yesterday looked like they were figuring it out. I've said several times, I think they're the best. They're the most talented team in the Big Ten. Maryland doesn't have a lot of depth, which concerns me in these tournament settings. But their starting five is just about as good as anybody's. So that's going to be a really fun game tonight. And then, of course, North Carolina, Duke. We'll see. I wouldn't expect Cooper Flagg to be there, but I think North Carolina is kind of in the same boat as Texas. Mm-hmm. They probably feel like they've got to go out and steal this one tonight to feel comfortable. That's kind of what makes this week so awesome.
This is crazy.
It's like, North Carolina and Texas, two teams who preseason probably thought that there wouldn't even be any question at this point, both probably playing for their lives tonight. I love it.
I'll tell you this, and they're not, and they should have been. Kansas, I'm not sure they're going to get in the tourney. They're blue blood. They are not a good basketball team. And of all the teams that are going to get in just on reputation and name alone, it's Kansas.
They are extremely beatable, and they're probably going to be like a 6 or a 7 seed. One of the brackets I saw earlier, Rob, you'd like this, had Kansas as the 6 and Texas A&M as the 3. So Texas A&M would play Kansas in round 2.
I'll tell you this, there's the selection committee and how, the 64 or the 68 that they select. But then there is the bracketing. And I promise you, there's going to be some of the dudes that are going to put Kansas in a right to get upset bracket, that they're going to put Kansas in a place against a team that we're not going to expect. But these are ADs and coaches. They know weakness. They know what the problems are. And they're going to line up Kansas to get early outed because it'll be for a good press on that first weekend.
Yep. Elsewhere, BYU's against Houston today. Houston a 6.5 point favorite. I think Houston beats the snot out of BYU. That BYU is just it's a terrible matchup for them going up against those Cougs.
Mm-hmm.
I guess a battle.
BYU
of Cougs,
is mission accomplished too.
I think so too. Maybe a good game in the SEC. Florida, Missouri. You think Missouri can hang around with the Gators?
Yes, Missouri is so underwhelming.
You like this team so much more than I do.
Because there's not a star, and they're led by a bunch of juniors and seniors. They've got one good young kid. But they play on a string defensively. And when I saw A&M roll in there, and A&M was playing pretty well at the time, and Missouri was undefeated at home, and Missouri did everything right. They just couldn't grab a couple of rebounds. I've liked them all season long, especially in these kind of tournaments, because this matters to them. Missouri walking away with an SEC title, that's something you have a celebration, a parade for. Everybody else is kind of playing for national championship, so I get there. I think there's a little bit more want-to in that realm than others in that. I don't think they're a favorite. I'm not going to pick them to win, but I think they're a heck of a team.
Yeah, Missouri, I don't know why they strike me as fake good. Michigan certainly strike me as fake good. They take Purdue today.
Purdue shouldn't have been that close to USC. So that Michigan might have a chance to impress somebody today.
Maybe so. Kentucky, Alabama should be a fun one. At a minimum, it should be a track meet. The total's 179.5. I don't know that either team particularly wants to play defense. My guess is this is going to be a real fun one. Arizona, Texas Tech, the Big 12 semifinal for the right to go play Houston. I said at the beginning of this thing, I love Texas Tech in this tournament. I think Texas Tech gets the win today against Arizona.
Yeah, but Arizona believes in themselves. Keep in mind, they beat Kansas in Kansas and then whooped them again. They're not better than Tech, but I think they might believe they're better. You know what I mean?
It's certainly one of the better matchups of the night. And then Clemson, Louisville will close things out at 8:30 you guys time, 6:30 here. It'll be an early night here. But yeah, some awesome games on the board in college hoops tonight. So we'll be down to most of these teams, either the finals or the semifinals tomorrow, and a couple games on Sunday before they decide the whole thing. The most wonderful time of the year, Selection Sunday,
AJ,
coming up.
Selection Sunday always is. And I knew that coming into this year that the conference schedules were going to be ridiculous, just night after night. And it was. We knew that when the SEC was playing on Tuesdays and Saturdays, it didn't matter what game, it was going to be great. And the Big 12, for the most part, has been the same. I did not put all of it together realizing what yesterday was going to be like. I've never had a Thursday prior to the tournament kind of Thursday that I did yesterday. That we have now prolonged. It is now truly a month of great basketball. It used to, say March Madness, and it's 2.5 weeks of great basketball with something we now have with starting on basically Wednesday of conference tournament week through Final Four Monday. It's on there, and it's 2 tournaments, but it feels like I'm in the middle of the NCAA tournament today. They're just playing with a safety net. It's been utterly remarkable.
On top of what I've been telling you about with the games I just went through, that's like that's the top 25 games that are going on. Like there's some other games that really are like UConn and Creighton play today. Boise and New Mexico play today in the Mountain West
Those
semis.
Are both going to make the tournament, and both of them probably win a game in the tournament.
Yep. VCU and like they're trying to lock up a spot because they're probably an at-large team, but the Atlantic 10 tournament in full swing now. So we see VCU today. They're playing St. Bonaventure early. They might be one of the first starts. I think they're an 8. They might be
10 a.m. start here.
A 10:30 start there where you guys are at. But yeah, there's some really good, and there's some. I'm not going to get into the dredges of the West Coast tournaments, but like Cal Poly and UC Irvine is a great game. UC Santa Barbara and UC San Diego. There's just some really, really good basketball all over the country. And this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then of course Saturday, you're going to get the championship games. But it's so much better than it's been because there's so many good teams this year.
Across
just
the board.
Make it for good hoops, man.
The TV deals that all these new conferences have signed have given us a lot more access to these games, of seeing more of them. We have drastically improved the product from just last year to this year. It's just a better.
All right. Let's hit a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the third hour. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you get into your commute, we do have a few stalls. I-10 westbound Hildebrand, that's off to the shoulder. Another at 90 Frontage Road, westbound at 36th Street, left lane is blocked. And on 35 southbound Thousand Oaks, that stall has a right lane blocked. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out at 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Spring break in South Texas isn't complete without a visit to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. And 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star has free tickets all week long. Listen to the Morning Huddle for your chance to score free passes to the park. It's spring break, fun-filled and action-packed. Don't miss your shot to win from the Morning Huddle and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
March is National Nutrition Month, and the City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District invites you to celebrate the role food plays in our health and well-being. Food connects us to our cultures, our families, and our friends. Health, culture, and access all shape how we relate to food. The foods we choose play a big part in our overall health and physical fitness. This March, join Metro Health in celebrating how food connects us and how it nourishes both body and mind. Healthy people, healthy community. For more information, visit sa.gov/health.
Wow! Most cars and trucks can get premium ceramic window film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint, starting at just $199. Don't wait! Protect your ride today. Our competitors charge hundreds more, but at Mother's, you get the best quality and value. Call now or visit motherswindowtint.com to schedule your installation. With up to 60 different film options, we've got the perfect fit for every car and budget. Stop by one of our locations and see the difference for yourself. Want to boost your vehicle's security? We've got you covered with advanced systems starting at just $399. Call 210-213-2118 today and ask about our alarm specials. Since 1984, we've been the home of the tint and alarm special. Don't wait. Visit Mother's Window Tint today. Call now or go online to book your service. Your car deserves it. Mother's Window Tint. Since 1984. Call or visit motherswindowtint.com. That's motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mother's and save.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-880-6363. That's 1-800-880-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-880-6363. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Join the Blitz today live from the Round Table Pizza in Stone Oak. It's Friday. What do you got to lose? Pizza, sports talk, and cold brews. See you at Round Table Pizza today in Stone Oak.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet?
RV wins!
Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach?
RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market.
This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Everybody's looking forward to the weekend, Friday, getting down on Friday. Oh, yeah, Rob. Party, yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to the weekend. Oh, what a song, Rob. Happy weekend.
Almost
We've
there,
almost
baby.
made it, Rob.
We are 1 hour and 10 minutes and so away from.
Yeah.
Oh, and Rob's got big plans. He's
Big
going to walk
plans.
around the house naked all day.
Yeah, lucky.
Just another day in the life.
That's right. I got to confess something to you guys. Yesterday, I did the entire show without pants on.
I knew it.
The entire show, no pants.
And that's new?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wait, well, yeah. Didn't you have pants on the other day here in studio?
Well,
thought
so,
you
yeah,
did.
but I usually it's new for me to do it remotely. When I'm in studio, I almost never wear pants. But here it was like
You guys, when back in during the COVID lockdown, you guys, you went right back to work.
I think we did about like 4 or 6 weeks away. But not like you guys did.
I did a year and a half. Back
Yeah.
home. I've done a lot of shows nude, wasted. I've done a lot
Wasted,
of things.
nice.
You don't want to have any idea
Yeah.
what was going on in those.
Those were the best shows.
Oh boy.
Oh yes.
You know, remember?
Oh
that-
yes.
Remember May of 20 when you hadn't left your house in like 6 weeks,
Yeah.
and just remember what that was like, and you had to get up and go to work in your house. Things were not working well at that moment. We were all lost, and I was mostly naked. I spent most of COVID nude.
Yeah, my guest room became my office. It was a whole because I was still trying to run a radio station from my house.
Yeah,
not ideal.
No, not ideal at all.
But hey, we survived and advanced, and now we're here where I can wear pants or not wear pants. Just freely. I mean, it's what a world.
I also noticed no collar. I'm not a.
Back-to-back days.
You're in trouble.
It's casual Friday, Rob.
You're gonna get a write-up.
I know.
It's gonna go on your permanent record.
Listen, the suit said, "Hey, I need you guys to make sure when you're in our new fancy studio, you wear a collared shirt." And because I'm not in our fancy studio, I'm like, well, I mean, that's what he said. Well, he didn't say when you're on any camera anywhere, you need to be wearing a collared shirt. He just said in that new studio.
Did he mention pants?
He did not mention pants either.
Is that wrong?
No, he never sent down an edict that we have to wear pants ever.
Wearing pants to work? Is that wrong?
And I'm not going to do. If he doesn't tell me I've got to, I'm not going to do it.
I would do it.
But he did tell me I've got to do this, so I'm going to do this. Actually, first, what I'll do is I'll give away something. I've got 2 4-packs of tickets to see the San Antonio Gunslingers on March 22nd, the home opener down at Freeman Coliseum. They'll be taking on the hated Tulsa Oilers. Gross.
We don't like those guys.
Everyone hates the Tulsa Oilers. You want to have a 4-pack to go boo the Tulsa Oilers and cheer on the hometown Gunslingers down at Freeman Coliseum. Let's go with caller 1 and 2 right out of the gates. You guys are the big winners. But I also have to do this. Rob, do you know that we have a golf tournament coming up?
Just around the corner.
That's right. April 14th, Golf Club of Texas, the Spring Golf Classic presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. It benefits the Pan American Golf Association. You can register online at sasportstar.com, $120 per person, or sign up your whole foursome for just $400. That's a savings of $80 if you do the math on it. That's Monday, April 14th, 9 a.m. at the Golf Club of Texas. The Spring Golf Tournament presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, and sponsored in part by Ancira.com and PPL Motorhomes. And don't forget to join us afterward for a live broadcast of the Blitz at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Petranco. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. Look at that. Look at me taking care of business. I'll also mention the Blitz. The Blitz for the second day in a row is at a pizza place. What a life being the afternoon show. They're at I saw where are they at today? Round Table in Stone Oak. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, Round Top in Stone Oak. They were in New
Round
Braunfels.
Table Pizza, Stone Oak. They were Round Table Pizza in New Braunfels yesterday.
And then there's one on the west side they've been to as well.
That's the one where I went and hung out with Joe that day.
They got good beer
and
there,
then
right?
Guess what? On Monday, they're going to be at the Roo Pub. You got to go see them for St. Patty's Day. Join the Blitz live at the Roo Pub for their St. Patrick's Day block party. I didn't know the Roo Pub has one of the biggest and best St. Patty Day parties in the city.
They really do. They have the best St. Patty's party in the city. They close out the parking lot. It's a green beer. And
beautiful. Go put on some green and get out there from 2 to 6. Hang out with the Blitz on St. Patty's Day. There you go. Look at me taking care of business.
Yeah.
That's how I do it, friends. I'm a real professional.
Without pants.
That's right. With occasionally I wear pants.
Professional pantsless radio guy I know.
Yeah.
That's right. That is right. The NFL, we had some movement. We've continued to have some movement. There's still the question marks around Aaron Rodgers. I saw a thing yesterday, the big QB questions, it said. Question 1, is Kirk Cousins really unavailable to other teams? And this is from Mark Raimondi, who's the Falcons reporter, says, completely unavailable, no, but the Falcons want suitable compensation in a trade. Atlanta's firm in its contention that it's comfortable with Cousins as the backup next season, considering it's already allocated the funds for him as a starter. Multiple sources have said in recent days that a Cousins return is the most likely scenario, but don't be shocked if trade talks heat up when inevitable quarterback injuries happen over the next few months. So I throw it to you, Rob. Do you think Kirk Cousins starts the season as an Atlanta Falcon?
Yeah, by default. I mean, that's a whopping contract to take on. That's the only reason he's still there. It isn't about allocated funds. Yeah, you allocated him because you thought he'd be playing. The best thing for everybody is for him to leave. But, they built this financial wall where it's next to impossible unless a team is willing, and they're willing to buy out and do some things, and the team is willing to come up with something. But I don't think the cost to get Kirk Cousins is that high. I really don't think that they're going to chase compensation, because you can't tell me that in one sentence, hey, we're fine with paying our backup quarterback $39 million. He's a backup, but if we're going to trade him, we want his value. You just told me he's a backup quarterback.
Right. Is Kenny Pickett the Browns' only solution for the Cleveland Browns while Deshaun Watson is out? That's an interesting question, I think, because you got to consider that we it was just kind of assumed the Browns were going to redo things in their quarterback room, and Kenny Pickett is not a viable starter. So I think what it really does is it leaves two options. I know they're meeting with Russell Wilson. I believe that's today. So it's either Russ or it's whoever they draft with the number 2 pick is going to be the starting quarterback for the Browns this year. Is that kind of the way you see it as well? Or do you think they think Kenny Pickett can start games?
If you want to know the answer to that question, go ask Myles Garrett.
Maybe so.
You know what I mean?
I don't think Myles. You know what? I really believe Myles Garrett was only about money.
Well, I agree with that. And I think go ask Myles Garrett. So if it's all about money, I don't care. I think that kind of represents the rest of the franchise. So if it's all about money and I don't care, it'll probably be
Kenny Pickett's the quarterback.
Yeah.
This is one I know you've got an opinion on. Will Daniel Jones compete with Anthony Richardson for the QB1 spot, or is Daniel Jones the clear backup? The Colts maintain that they intend for Richardson to be in an open competition this season, meaning Jones seems to have a legitimate shot at the job. However, Richardson's presence as the 2023 first-round pick, thus tied to Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen, would seem to matter. Both quarterbacks are looking to reverse perceptions about themselves, and both will seemingly get that chance.
We've watched Anthony Richardson for 9-10 games. I mean, it hasn't been a lot. if it's truly an open competition and we just handed the balls to them and we worked them out for the next week and a half, 2 weeks, and we watched them go and do, there's no way Anthony Richardson wins this. He doesn't. He's only been playing real quarterback for about 5 years now. There's
Rob,
no
it seems like
way.
It seems you've forgotten who Daniel Jones is.
No, but at least Daniel Jones is a schooled and instructed quarterback from his Duke days to all of his OCs that he's worked with. Anthony Richardson came out of high school as a raw giant dude who could score and do anything, did the same thing at Florida, and then left. He hasn't learned how to be a quarterback. So if you're going to tell me this is an open competition about two quarterbacks that doing quarterback things, 15-yard outs, reading routes, doing the progressions and checkdowns, there's no way Anthony Richardson wins that. There's no way. An unbiased eye, when you watch those two, now you look at Richardson and say 6'6", runs like a horse, can do some things there's nobody else can do. But if we're talking about quarterback play, there's no way an open competition he wins that. There's just not.
All right. I got a couple more QB questions and a couple more NFL news and notes. Cowboys do bring in another hand at running back. We'll talk about that as well. It is the Morning Huddle. 1 hour to go on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM, Floresville.
This report is sponsored by the Texas Department of Transportation. Traffic signals are for bicyclists, too. When on your bike, stop at red lights and stop signs, ride with traffic, use hand signals to turn, and make sure to ride with a light after dark. Be safe. Bike smart. A message from TxDOT.
Do you ever scroll through social media only to find yourself bombarded by bad news, hot takes, picture-perfect families, and yet another humbling professional update? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you would feel if you spent 45 minutes focused on how you are doing. At Cerebral, they make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. The best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs, and just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important. And Cerebral is here to help you build a strong foundation on your overall well-being. Take that first step today. Go to Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for Mind Time.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-880-6363. That's 1-800-880-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-880-6363. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Welcome to The Hangar, Petrenko, your go-to spot for mouthwatering wings, ice-cold cocktails, and an unforgettable atmosphere. Come taste some of the best wings in town, served by their friendly staff with even friendlier cocktails. Only at Hangar Petrenko, where great food, drinks, and friends come together.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you get into your commute, we do have a few stalls. I-10 westbound Hildebrand, that's off to the shoulder. Another at 90 Frontage Road, westbound at 36th Street, left lane is blocked. And on 35 southbound Thousand Oaks, that stall has a right lane blocked. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out at 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs season continues, though drudgingly slow, as more bad news arrived. Wemby and Fox, his season is over. He'll undergo surgery on a tendon in his left pinky. College basketball tournaments in full swing as the Texas Longhorns took down the Aggies 94-89 in double overtime. Longhorns improved their selection resume and may very well have made it in. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4 of the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's only 7 o'clock in the morning here. I'm only starting to feel awake.
Okay, just now.
Just now, yeah.
You didn't have no coffee?
No coffee.
Really?
No.
Why not?
I don't want to, because I don't want to go wake everybody up. I mean, people are awake now, but I haven't wanted to go wake everybody up.
You have the luxury of your own throne and everything.
I know, but now if I drink coffee, how am I going to take a nap? You know, I napped for 4 hours yesterday. Oh, it was incredible. 4 hours.
That'd be deadly for me.
Comfort.
My wife had to come in and wake me up.
Well, that was
but you got to remember, I
field.
also it was just after the stupid time change, and then I traveled, so it was like my whole clock was thrown off. So I was like, I was not surprised. And plus I had to stay up late because the other night. So
yeah,
it was much needed. It was much needed. I'm back to I'm feeling back to normal now. I will take a nap today, but not my normal nap.
4 hour nap.
Well, there's also the home field advantage. You're back on a bed that you had missed a minute.
Oh, it's so nice. So yeah, I realize now that I got the short end of the stick on the bed situation.
It's funny. That's the thing that I remember the most is finally getting my bed back after spending it so much time away.
Man, I guess maybe you don't realize what you're sleeping on until you go sleep on a good bed. And it's like, yeah, I'm not getting the best possible sleep on that bed that I've got at home. But, what are you going to do?
So does the dog every now and then turn the corner and look at you like, what are you doing here?
No, that dog hardly leaves my side.
Good.
I can hear her whimpering outside the door. She wants to be in here while I'm doing the show.
Before the end of the show, let's see the dog.
Okay, I'll bring her in during the next break. We do have to play a how well do you know your sports radio host? And that's how we'll give away Six Flags tickets. That's how we've done it all week. I want to make sure that we do that again. So let's go ahead and do that now, Rob. And we'll make it a very easy one. This is so easy. If you've been listening for any amount of time, there is one. I've made it pretty clear I'm a Bills fan. I talk about the Bills all the time. There is one other professional sports franchise that I really care about. And it's only been since I moved out here to Vegas. Like when I moved out here, I adopted a new team. And I want the first person to call Vic and tell him who that new team is that I am now a big fan of. And I watch their games pretty much every chance I get. You will win a pair of tickets to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas for spring break. Spring break at Six Flags. Where else would you rather be? And Rob, make sure they exit the right exit. Don't exit
exit La Cantera. Exit
do
Camp
not do
Bullis and double back. I cannot emphasize that anymore.
It's the only way, but we do want you guys to go courtesy of San Antonio Sports Star. So enjoy that as well. All right, Rob, one more quarterback question before we move on from this thing. And then I got to talk about the Cowboys' new signing. Which team is going to sign Aaron Rodgers? And it says here the top 3 contenders, and I'm surprised to not see Tennessee on this list. Number 3, the Giants. Number 2, Pittsburgh. Number 1, Minnesota. Who do you think signs Aaron Rodgers if one of those 3 does?
Well, it won't be Minnesota. That's all I really know. I don't think Minnesota's going to risk it. I think that they've already made their plan. They made their plan last summer. Darnold played great, still sticking with their plan. They're going to start JJ.
I'll say this. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to wait until Minnesota says no to him before he signs anywhere else, because I think he's fully aware Minnesota's the only place he can go and look like he's still got something.
I agree with that. And I think if I'm Minnesota, I still hold out in the back of my mind, if the dollar value keeps dropping, if you're not getting a lot of look, I'll pay a very little for something with a huge upside where I'm not going to pay a lot with a guess for an upside. You know what I mean? So it might make it more amenable if he drops his price and becomes a little bit less Aaron and more quarterback. It might happen, but that would be the only way. And then, AJ, is it possible? Is it feasible that we go through this brief free agent period? We go through the draft, we go through OTAs, and Aaron still doesn't have a job? Could we be headed toward training camp before he signs on someplace? I don't think so. But with every passing minute, you figure, okay, if he doesn't happen now, then it'll get quiet, and then we'll go through the draft, maybe. But at some point, one of these guys is going to get signed. It's either Russell or Aaron, and maybe the dominoes fall. I don't know. But it's starting to feel like to me that everybody eye on Aaron Rodgers is like, I will talk to him if he's my last resort.
Yeah. No, I don't think it lasts that long, but yeah, it does seem like everybody's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know.
Is there anything else out there? Is anybody else going to shake free? Because I'm starting to kind of feel this way about Russell Wilson, where everybody's kind of like,
what kind of money? Like when you hear Aaron Rodgers signs contract for X, what do you expect it to be? Like, it's going to be a 1-year deal, but how much do you think it'll be for?
Man. And my mind says I wouldn't pay that dude. And granted, this is quarterback market, so I got to pay him more than the average. I wouldn't pay him more than $15 million. I wouldn't give him more than that.
I wonder where you think about Dak's going to make 52 this year.
Excuse me.
I know it's crazy, right? I can't. I mean, what the names that you're going to be comparing Aaron Rodgers to if he signs like a low end deal? I don't know if Aaron Rodgers' ego can handle that. I don't know if he can look at it and go, wait, are you guys really paying Justin Fields more money than me?
What did Danny Dimes get?
$13.6 million for a year in Indy.
That's the market.
You think so?
I hate to say it. That's the market for Aaron Rodgers.
I think you might be right. But that'll be quite frankly, it's going to be hilarious. I want that to be the case. But yeah, because even like, you know, we always say what's Baker getting? Like Baker's going to make $35 million next year. You can't pay Aaron Rodgers $35 million.
He's below the Mendoza Mayfield line.
Like there's no way you can give him that. And and there's guys like, for instance, Jalen Hurts is going to make almost $22 million. You can't give him that.
No. See, if and I don't know who Aaron's agency is, and I don't care. I don't know if he listens to him, but I would counsel him like, look, dude, I'm going to pursue you a job, but where you land and for you to survive wherever you do land, you're going to have to come in kind of contrite. You can't come in like you came in with the Jets. You can't come in and say, I want this.
You ain't
and
kicking
I want
the door
that.
down.
So why don't we get you a little bit and let's incentivize this and let's promote
I think that's
it
the
like
move.
You're signing for the league minimum for the betterment of the team. But, you know, if I throw 30 touchdowns, I'll make my money, but I'm here to win and help this team. That's the way I would parse this instead of the embarrassment of this is all you can get, brother.
I kind of agree. Cowboys get a new running back.
We know
another new running back. Miles Sanders plans to sign with the Cowboys, released by the Panthers earlier this week. And they saved almost $5.25 million against the cap.
We could have arranged some kind of Rico for Miles deal where we throw in a little sweetener on both sides. We could have done a little something on the side to help each other out.
Well, it does seem like the Cowboys lost their guy and now they're picking up the Panthers trash.
Or the other way around. I don't know how to make it. Miles is a good running back. I don't know.
I think so too.
You know, he's not a great running back. He's not going to do anything spectacular, but in my memory of him, where was he prior to the Eagles? Philly. I mean, prior to the Eagles.
No, he was in college prior to that.
No, so it's only with the Eagles. My memory is that one good year with the Eagles, about 3 years ago, where it's jack of all. He can do a lot of stuff, catch the ball in the backfield, pick up a blitz. He won't, you need 5 yards, he'll pick you 3. You need 2, he'll get you 3 kind of thing. Good get. It's one of those guys I figure you get after the draft, but, I'm not upset with it. They didn't spend much money.
There's he scored like the I guess it was 3 years ago now in Philly. He had a season where he had double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah.
It got him paid by the Panthers, and he just was never any good with the Panthers. They ended up he lost his job to Chuba Hubbard, who was a lower round draft pick.
And better back.
Yeah, and then they drafted another one in Jonathan Brooks. They were like, we just don't want Miles Sanders to play, even though we signed him to a 4-year, $25 million deal. We screwed up on that.
He was there, Brandon Cooks. I think he's a good team guy. I think he shows up for work, one of those things. But yeah, he got overpaid for his skill set, but maybe he got paid his team value.
But you know what? Between him and Javonte Williams, I feel like you're at least capable.
Yeah, that's
at
an NFL backfield.
You're not, you're not in the top half of the league. But you've got one of those two guys is going to end up being serviceable.
Well, the good news is you've hit it on the head. To give you an idea where Cowboy fan is coming from, we legitimately, for almost 2 years, thought that there's a possibility that a dude that's 5'1" could make a difference.
Oh, this kills him.
Legitimately thought that Vaughn, this kid, could actually play in the NFL. We actually convinced ourselves that this guy could be a 2-down back in the NFL. Now we can look at what real running backs look like in the running back room and go, what the hell were we thinking? That guy is he's a wild card. If you're a great team, you put him as your 53rd dude on your roster because he might be able to do something special on a kick return. But to think that where we came from as a Cowboy fandom and our running back room included Deuce Vaughn is in the picture tells you how much the upgrade is. You didn't have to do much to get that much better.
I think this ends the Deuce Vaughn experience in Dallas, especially because they did pay to bring Turpin back. So even his value as a special teamer is meh. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what you need that guy for at this point. And my assumption is still, I don't think it's going to be in the first or second round, but I do think the Cowboys are going to draft a running back sometime next month, and he'll be the third back, and that'll be the end of that, unless Dalvin Cook decides to come back. I don't know.
Every day, AJ, every day and every way, he's getting better. Just a couple more reps, man.
Guys.
Almost.
He's just getting his reps. We're real excited about Dalvin. No, stop it. No, you're not.
Ooh,
no one's excited about Dalvin
We're excited
Cook.
about Dalvin. Ooh, oh yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
that guy.
gosh.
Oh yeah, every day he's getting better. Every day.
You remember there were like actual real people who thought that he was going to be a difference maker for the Cowboys last year. How insane is that in hindsight?
That dude showed up to
Dalvin
Dallas
Cook.
and made, I don't know, $3,000 a week.
That's wild.
He stole money for a year.
Yep. Okay. I've got I guess I don't know if I've got time to get into this. You know what? We'll dig into some NBA. I've got a question for you on the other side. Then we'll take a look at one or two stories outside the sports world. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still dealing with this trouble spot at 1604 eastbound approaching Lookout. Disabled vehicle has the right lane blocked. And on Loop 410 eastbound San Pedro, some debris in the roadway. Right lane blocked. South side of town, 35 southbound at South Cross. Getting reports of a broken down vehicle. That stall is in the right lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
The Valero Texas Open is a can't-miss event. Here's your chance to enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. You won't want to miss the next defining, unexpected, and winning moments at the Valero Texas Open. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. Buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 3rd through the 6th.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue. But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. Aha! So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
GimmeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway. I hate games and scams. So when we had the idea to give away $25,000, I was very careful about the way it was orchestrated. Get the top of the market money and enter to be the lucky person to get $25,000 this month in March. This is no joke. This is no game. This is very real. Just like GimmeTheVin.com.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GimmeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Build your business with a partner you can trust. The Home Depot. When you join Pro Extra, you get lower than shelf pricing and dedicated support to help you streamline your business and stay on budget. Get dedicated pro support for supply sourcing, custom orders, large equipment rentals, and more. At the Home Depot, we supply the support your job needs with the level of service your business deserves. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. George gets justice after being hit by an 18-wheeler. The experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
March is National Nutrition Month, and the City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District invites you to celebrate the role food plays in our health and well-being. Food connects us to our cultures, our families, and our friends. Health, culture, and access all shape how we relate to food.
The foods we choose play a big part in our overall health and physical fitness. This March, join Metro Health in celebrating how food connects us and how it nourishes both body and mind. Healthy people, healthy community. For more information, visit sa.gov/health.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has 18 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
Dude, I'm telling you, I wouldn't go in the water anywhere in Florida. The gators all over the place.
Would you go in the ocean?
Probably not.
Yeah, you would. You'd have to pee at some point if you're on the beach.
I only go in where I can sit.
You sit to pee while you're in the ocean?
Yes. I've got no problem with my manhood, but when you've had a few beers, you got to pee. I don't want to venture out too far.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle 94.1. All right, Rob, I've got a conspiracy theory here because the 76ers are taking a look at Paul George and saying, he's got to see the doctor. We got to see what's going on. Got these injuries he's dealing with. He's got a groin injury, a knee injury. We don't know. Might need a procedure. We're not sure. He's been battling. He's been battling through groin, finger, and knee ailments all year long. They said he took injections for 5 straight games before the All-Star break. Poor guy. You know, it's real rough on him right now. And he even took away podcast P from us, and I mean, we've all been worse for it since.
As long as we
he said, I've got to focus on my health and turn toward, I got to fix this season here in Philadelphia. Well, now I'm curious because now they're saying we got to go see doctors. We got to see what's going on. And I started thinking the 76ers first round pick this year is top 6 protected.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not in the top 6, it goes to Oklahoma City.
Correct.
They've already shut down Joel Embiid for the season. Do we think there's any chance that Paul George plays again this year?
No. Are you kidding me? You could have a hangnail right now. What's the point? For everybody involved and the draft pick. The fact that they're even fashioning a story, I give them credit for. Thank you.
You know what? You know what? That's polite of you.
Yeah. Like, you mean, so if we draft 7th, that's bad, right?
If you draft 7th, bad.
Yeah.
6th, good.
So playoff P and podcast P, you can go ahead and take your day off.
Yeah, go. Hey, you can go back. You don't need to worry about playoff P. Go be podcast P again.
You don't have to call it. We don't even need to see you. You can just go ahead and take care of yourself.
Yeah, worry not. Now, currently, the Sixers have they are the 6th worst record in basketball. They are a half game ahead of the Toronto Raptors for that spot. So they've got to do is out-tank the Raptors and then hope that the ping pong balls don't completely screw them, which they could.
They could. Now, they could lose out and be fine, right? All they got to do is lose every game.
If they lose the rest of their games, they're probably good. Again, unless the ping pong balls are just abnormally cruel to them. The remaining schedule, let me see if there's how many other tanking teams they play. Okay, so here's they play the Pacers today. That we assume that's a loss. On Sunday they play Dallas. I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
Where's the game?
At Dallas.
They're losing.
Then they're at Houston, at Oklahoma City. That's 2 easy losses.
I'm comfortable there.
The next Friday at San Antonio.
That's going to be tough. It's going to get tough to lose that one.
Which, by the way, you can currently get tickets for $11 if you're interested in that game.
I mean, I think every
Friday.
team, all the bottom 6, 7, 8 teams, they've all got 1 or 2 wins in them. It's just going to be strategic as to when and how they win. Everybody wants to win a game for their fans, so you figure you're going to try at least one time at home. But I think they're going to look at the standings before the attempt is made. Can we afford today because Toronto lost, kind of stuff.
The other games they have in that run, Atlanta. Now here's a stretch where they might win a game or two. At Atlanta, at New Orleans, home Washington, home Miami, home Toronto.
Oh, my God. Who made this schedule? First of all, if you were a Sixer and you were good, what a way to finish the season, man. Skate into the playoffs. It looks like they saw the tea leaves. Dude, the problem is Spurs are in the boat. I don't think there's 4 teams that they can't catch, right? There's no way that they can.
No, the Spurs can't catch these teams.
But what about the Sixers? Can they catch Carolina and Washington? They can't catch them either, can they?
No, they're not not bad enough for that.
So there are some situations where, like San Antonio and those teams that haven't, didn't initially tank, that tanked for other reasons as the season progressed, that there are some nights where you can go win a game and it really doesn't affect. They're just going to have to scoreboard watch Toronto. But if you want to bet on or for or against Philly, follow Toronto.
Yeah, because they certainly want to finish in the bottom 6. That gives them the best chance. There's zero chance of them to get into that bottom 4.
So they'll play to win on some games.
The Sixers?
Yeah, because if they can't get to the bottom 4 and all they got to do is be ahead of Toronto, they're going to be scoreboard watching Toronto. I mean, what did they do last night? Did they win? Did they lose? That's really going to predicate what I'm doing.
Yeah. Now, but you're like, you also got to be. Brooklyn has the same amount of wins as you.
Exactly. I'm watching those guys. They win a game, I might go out. I might start somebody tonight or leave somebody in a few more minutes. They lose, I got to lose too.
That's where it is. So the Pelicans, Jazz, who, by the way, the Pelicans got eliminated from playoff contention last night. They are the second team joining the Jazz. Pelicans, Jazz, Hornets, and Wizards are the 4 that are almost a lock for the bottom 4. The next tier, they're 22 win Brooklyn, 22 win Philly, 23 win Toronto. That's who you've got to keep an eye on, because those are the teams that are fighting for that Philly's fighting with to finish in that top 6. Ideally, you want to have the 5th worst record, because that way if 2 teams win
Nobody's
ping pong lottery
twice, you won't get jumped twice.
It's very difficult. That's what it would take, though, is like two teams from way on the outside jumping you. Seems unlikely, but one of them, I could see, like, if you end up with, if they say, oh, good, we're safe, we're the 6th worst team, chances are good one of those teams is going to get a lottery ball, a ping pong ball, and jump ahead of you. One of those top 4, and you're out.
And never forget, Philly started the process. They originated this. They understand what the process involves and what is required over a decade of a process.
Well, they understand how to get the high picks. They just don't understand how to use them.
Well, there is that. You can only take a horse to the water,
Okay, let's get Nerlens Noel this time. Are you sure? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Nerlens. That's the
Mikal Fultz. Can I interest you in a broken jump shot?
This will fix it. No, it didn't fix it. See what's going on in the world outside of sports here. I know we don't have time for a lot of it, but I did find this story intriguing and disgusting. A restaurant has paid compensation to 4,000 diners in China at the country's biggest hot pot chain, because 2 boys, both 17.
What's in the hot pot?
Well, yeah, that's what we're all asking. What's in the hot pot? The restaurant's called Haidi Lao. It's a huge chain. I guess it's like their Panda Express. I'm not sure, but these 2 boys were filmed taking a leak into a hot pot broth in a private room in Shanghai. The restaurant has offered to compensate 4,000 diners following public outcry. Both boys were drunk, Shanghai police said, and both have been arrested. They both gained the broth. Obviously, they say the broth was not served to any customers, but it's unclear whether the hot pot was properly disinfected before it was used for new meals, and that's where the issue's coming in. I got to be honest, if they're paying 4,000 diners and they didn't serve it to anyone, they know full well they did not properly clean that hot pot.
And there's probably more to it than, no one ate it. No,
I'm guessing somebody ate it. Somebody ate
But
it.
anybody within a mile of this, we're paying just to be safe. Somebody had some soup.
Can you imagine? They call that Wang soup. I
Anybody
think
tasted this before?
this is the saltiest batch of broth.
I just tasted in my mouth before. I can't quite place. God.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think I'd go back there.
No.
I think that's the end of my relationship with that.
Or at least
with
I'm
that restaurant.
request a fresh hot pot.
Yeah. Ugh. And Netflix. This is a weird thing. It's kind of like Netflix. The more money they spend on something, the worse it is. I don't always understand. Like, remember Netflix had that big boxing event that no one could watch?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And then now they've got their most expensive movie ever coming out. The Electric State is from the directors of the Avengers Endgame, and apparently is a disaster. They said it cost just about as much as Avengers, and critics are already saying you may wish that you could snap this movie out of existence.
I'm looking at there's a lot of stars.
Yeah. This is the budget is $300 million. $300 million, the most expensive movie in Netflix history, and again, it joins Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame as the most expensive of all time, period. And apparently already this is going to be an absolute disaster.
So it's got Chris Pratt, Millie Bobby Brown. It looks like and Woody Harrelson. And it looks like it's some kind of futuristic robot movie.
And you know what? I hate futuristic robot movies.
I'm not down with this.
Yeah, this is gonna be a mess, and they spent $300 million.
Now, have you followed Millie Bobby Brown's career?
I only know Millie Bobby Brown from
Stranger Things, right?
Okay. And I know that Drake was like pretty creepy with her.
Okay, so yeah, she's no longer a young lady.
She is a young lady, but she's no longer a child
the
star.
Little girl that I had. Right. Look, she looks like her mother.
Yeah.
She grew up quite fast. I saw her interviewed like day before yesterday, maybe regarding how bad this movie is going to be, and I didn't even recognize her. I didn't even recognize her. Somebody had to tell me, "Oh, that's Millie Bobby Brown." Last time I saw her, she was 12.
And did you find yourself sexually attracted to her?
Now or then?
Now, obviously.
Neither, quite frankly. I don't find her overly attractive. But I was just
she does have a weird look, but she's certainly not a little girl anymore.
That's shocking. Like, my God, the makeup. How old was she when she did her last Stranger Things?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That's
crazy.
not even a real name. Millie Bobby Brown.
What's her name?
Her name is Millie Bonnie Brown. Bon Jovi. I remember her saying
Bon Jovi?
Yeah. Bongiovi.
And so that
Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, Bon Jovi.
Is she American?
She is British.
I think her middle name's Bon Jovi. That's how I would say that.
Millie Bonnie Brown Bon Jovi.
She has blossomed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, are you glad? Aren't you glad that you weren't like taking care of business and going, wait a minute, is that the Stranger Things girl?
That's like a little girl.
Oh yeah. Like
I'll save that. I'll save the worst noise in the world. Worst sound, literally on the planet. I'm glad we got another day where we could get it in there.
Is she again?
No, it's like
she's a full-blown woman now. So.
Yikes. Woody Harrelson.
All right. Let's take maybe that's what you were doing too. Maybe
a fine looking man.
He's a handsome guy. All right, let's take our last break of the day. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show the way we always do with the Daily Lines. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic is back. And it's all about having a great time. Grab your buddies and ladies too. Hit the course for a fun, laid-back day of golf, laughs, and a little friendly competition at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, April 14th. It's just $120 a player or $400 for a foursome. A solid deal for a day of good times with your crew. The Spring Golf Classic benefits the Pan American Golf Association. But don't worry, this isn't some high-stakes tournament. It's all about kicking back, having fun, and making memories. Presented by Flight by England and sponsored by Ancira.com and PPL Motorhomes. After you've crushed it on the course, join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Cold drinks, great food, and good times with all of your buddies. So grab your spot, grab your crew, and tee off for a day of unforgettable fun. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Hey, it's Adam from County Crows. Come out and see us on the Complete Suites Tour this summer. We'll be joined by our friends, the Gaslight Anthem. It's a summer butter miracle. Guess I should. Old songs, new songs. Come and hang with us.
Saturday, August 2nd, the SB at St. Paul Square. Tickets on sale now at thesb.com. Presented by ATG Entertainment.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Wow! Most cars and trucks can get premium ceramic window film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint, starting at just $199. Don't wait. Protect your ride today. Our competitors charge hundreds more, but at Mother's, you get the best quality and value. Call now or visit motherswindowtint.com to schedule your installation. With up to 60 different film options, we've got the perfect fit for every car and budget. Stop by one of our locations and see the difference for yourself. Want to boost your vehicle security? We've got you covered with advanced systems starting at just $399. Call 210-213-2118 today and ask about our alarm specials. Since 1984, we've been the home of the tint and alarm special. Don't wait. Visit Mother's Window Tint today. Call now or go online to book your service. Your car deserves it. Mother's Window Tint. Since 1984. Call or visit motherswindowtint.com. That's motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet. And we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place.
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business.
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm. How can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What a way to take us out on a Friday, baby. Yeah. Hey, looks like apparently the Giants have offered the biggest contract to Aaron Rodgers so far.
Do we have numbers?
He won't go away.
We for sure don't have numbers. I'm sure this is all leaked from his agent, but this is according to The Athletic that the Giants have made Rodgers the largest contract offer to date. So whether the rumors of Pittsburgh or Minnesota, I can't imagine. I think this would be a big mistake for Minnesota.
It would
to bring that guy into their locker room.
Don't screw up your plan. You have a plan. You got lucky with Darnold. Carry on.
But it's very much it's wild how it just tracks perfectly along line what Brett Favre did. Green Bay for all these years, win a Super Bowl, go to the Jets, flame out miserably, go to Minnesota.
Who gets the D pick? When does he do that?
I'm get Danica Patrick. I'm guessing. She's like, Aaron, we broke up years ago, and he's like, no, I need you to see
miss this? Huh?
She's like, what? It's all weird. It goes off to the side. It's
weird little bump over there.
Yeah,
I don't have that checked out.
It's from an injection I got of ketamine in Peru.
Yeah, that's where a snake bit it. I was bitten by a snake there.
A shaman gave me some cobra venom. Yeah, but the Giants apparently offering the biggest contract so far. The Vikings need to steer clear of this thing. They've got to stay out of this thing. And then a couple other quick notes. Minnesota basketball, they fired their coach overnight.
They should have.
Ben Johnson, it was like, I don't know, 2 a.m. An announcement got posted to social media following their loss to Northwestern. And they said, look, if we paid a bunch of money to have the AC shut off in their hotel, right, and you guys still couldn't beat Northwestern.
They were dehydrated and they had homework, and you still couldn't beat them.
They said, I met with Ben in person early this morning when the team returned from Minneapolis and informed him we were making a change in leadership. This is the AD from Minnesota. I thanked him for his dedication in guiding the program, one he cares deeply about for the last 4 years. Ben's a terrific person, and we wish him well. These decisions are difficult and are made after careful consideration and evaluation. The expectation for our program is to compete for championships. And unfortunately, we have not done that in the last 4 years. Help me remember the last time Minnesota was a power in college basketball. Do you remember?
Never. Well, back in the late 80s, they had a nice little run with Michael Thompson, and a guy named Sam Jacobson followed up. No. And then one of the all-time leading rebounder in Minnesota Golden Gopher history, I do believe, went to high school right here in San Antonio.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
On top of that,
go ahead.
Ben Johnson and his staff are the only ones who raised Minnesota's NIL budget. They got $2 million this past season. They are bottom 2 or 3 in the Big Ten in NIL resources the entire time he's been there. And they lost guys they lost Elijah Hawkins to Texas Tech. They lost Pharrell Payne to Texas A&M, and then they lost Cam Christie to the NBA. It's like, I don't know how, if you're not putting up any money nowadays, how do you expect to compete for titles? If that's the goal, Minnesota is to compete for titles. You got to pay for titles now.
I don't think their goal is to compete for titles. I think their goal is to compete. They need to go back and get little Ricky Pitino. Last time they were decent. He's in New Mexico winning basketball games, and
I think he's in a better place.
Right up. He's going up. And the best Minnesota's been over the last decade was when little Ricky was there. But they don't want to win. If they wanted to win, they would put their money where their mouth is. That's a program that you go to, and if you win 20 games and you beat one of the big 3 in your division, whether it's Michigan, Michigan State, or Ohio State, one of your most hated once a year, you get to keep that job forever.
Yeah. And then this is probably the last time we see Fran McCaffrey on the sidelines at Iowa. He's been on the hot seat most of this year. It appears that he is coming to an end. And in his last game of this season, he got 2 technical fouls in a 15-second span and was ejected from the game with 13 and a half minutes left to go in the game. So I don't know if you're thinking, well, maybe he's at least a rock. He's a leader for us. Well, maybe not. That's
He's a good guy who had a nice little run. He put a couple guys in the NBA. The kid at Sacramento, his kids could play. Young McCaffrey could play, and he got a little bit of heat for playing some daddy ball with his sons a couple years ago. He's a heck of a basketball coach, but times have changed. And,
well, now that your sons are graduated,
yeah,
maybe Northern Iowa's a better place for you.
With the Keegan, what's his last name? They had the twins, the Murrays. They're gone.
Keegan Murray, and I can't remember what's the other one's name?
The other one that hung around for another year.
I don't know why I want to say Kyler Murray, and it's not Kyler Murray.
It's something like that. He's an excellent basketball coach, but I think that just like when we saw what with most great coaches, Calipari, the most recent, he just run out of time. It's just time to go.
I think that's what it is as well. All right, let's wrap up the show the way we always do, buddy, and take a look at the Daily Lines.
Made some money last night.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the Daily Lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm mailing a check to the Georgia Tech Athletic Department as we speak.
They did a damn good job. Thank you, gentlemen. You've done a great job. You've done a great job.
Carry on.
All right, let's start in the association where the Celtics are in Miami. Boston, 8-point favorites on the road, coming off that big loss to OKC. I expect we see a salty bunch of Celtics.
Do you think
the salty seas go down there and probably smack Miami around?
I'd like to think so. I just don't know if it'll happen. If it was me and I had just played and I was Boston and I'd just gotten beaten by the heir apparent and I knew I was taking a flight down to Miami, I might spend a night out. I might go and spend a night out on the town. A few drinks, see the ocean, and round myself into form. I'm not worried about Miami. They don't play in my life, and if I lose to them today, I'll forget about it tomorrow. I don't know.
Okay, interesting theory there. Pacers are at the Sixers, the aforementioned Sixers, who, like we said, they don't want to win many more games, but I don't know that they need to worry about winning tonight. The question is, at home, can they cover 13.5 points against the Indiana Pacers? What a crazy number. Now, that clearly that means no Paul George, but still 13.5 at home for the Sixers. Tyrese Maxey is still a person, and from what I understand, I don't think I can lay that with the Pacers.
Really,
that's a crazy number.
Yeah, there's one thing about tanking. If there's a plan, I think fan knows the process, but you can't get embarrassed while you're doing it.
Yeah. Clippers are at the Hawks. The Clippers 4.5-point favorites on the road.
Stupid Hawks.
They're going to pick in the teens. They're ruining everything. Well, that's why the Spurs said, we got to do this ourselves. Fox, you're out. Go get your finger fixed.
Hey, Victor, you ever heard of thrombosis?
Yeah, you're feeling a little weird right now. What's your arm feeling like?
Ever heard of thrombosis?
Yeah.
Thrombosis? No, thrombosis, we call it here in America. The Mavericks, 12-point dogs at Houston in a battle of Texas.
Now, I do like Houston here.
You do like Houston?
If I'm Houston, I'm running. I'm putting a hurting on Dallas every chance I get. Yeah,
does seem like a good chance to maybe put a little embarrassment on them. I think the game of the night, the Cavs at the Grizzlies. Cavs 2-point favorites on the road. Now, just like I said, Cleveland or the Celtics might be a little salty. I mean, the Cavs, they don't even remember what losing feels like. Do you expect the Cavs to go into Memphis and get the job done?
I'm one of those guys that just looks at the odds sometimes. 15 straight. The odds of winning 16 straight are just ridiculous. And then you're on the road against a very good team. I probably keep betting against them until they finally do lose. You know what I mean? Because it's imminent to me.
That's not a bad strategy. I won't be joining you tonight, though. I just think the Cavs are that good.
They are that good.
The Magic plus 10.5 at Minnesota. I don't know what to think of the Magic. They've been a tough team to track all year long. It's probably a stay away. The big game tonight, the Hornets and the Spurs. Hornets plus 2.5 here in San Antonio. Rob, with you in attendance, you're going to have black and silver face paint on.
I am.
You are going as a fan, not as media. Will the Spurs get a win for their number one super fan, Rob Thompson?
I do. I think they're going to win it. I do. I think
okay.
I mean, you're playing a team worse than you at home.
It's a rare thing.
Yeah,
rare thing.
Go get that.
Lakers are at the Nuggets. Nuggets laying 2 touchdowns, minus 14 against the Lakers. Obviously, no LeBron, but that's still pretty wild.
What did Luka get in the first half last night? Did he have 30 in the first half?
Yeah. It just doesn't that seem like a big number to lay with the Nuggets against a team that's got Luka on it?
Well, it didn't help defensively, but they're going to score some points. But I think it is crazy that Luka went and got 30, and it still didn't help. Yeah, I like Denver here.
Raptors +2 in Utah, a battle of teams that have no interest in winning.
I think we should have we should have San Antonio and Carolina, and all four of these teams play some kind of weird round robin over a weekend. Where we draft one other player. We do something weird just to screw things up because
the winner gets an extra pick. That'd be fun. And then the Kings are at the Suns. Phoenix -3 hosting Sacramento.
What's Sacramento's last 10?
That's a good question.
I want to dial into them because now's kind of nut cutting time for them.
They are 5-5 in their last 10. They've lost 3 straight though.
Yeah. That's what I was afraid of.
Lost 3 straight. I mean, but Phoenix 3-7 in their last 10.
No, I think they should beat. But I thought Sacramento was going to be. They get rid of De'Aaron and they cry a little bit. They get their coach all situated and they very quietly go win some games. I was hoping they would be kind of this dark horse in the West, and they're not. They're just,
you know who's kind of fallen off lately and is now back below the Spurs in the standings is Portland. They've lost 5 games in a row now. All that fighting they were doing, and now it's just like. I mean, I don't think they've stopped trying. I just think they were playing over their heads for so long that it's probably kind of catching up to them.
And you win a couple, especially on the road, teams start getting ready for you. No one wants to lose to Portland at home. I mean, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. No doubt. In hockey tonight, the Red Wings are at Carolina. Carolina -275. The Edmonton Oilers -135 on the road at the Islanders. The Dallas Stars are at Winnipeg. The Jets -130 favorites. The Avalanche -220 favorites on the road in Calgary. The Utah Hockey Club, did you say Utes, are -150 at the Kraken. And the Predators -145 at the lowly Anaheim Ducks. Quack, quack. In college hoops tonight, mentioned the opener that's about to start in 45 minutes from now. VCU and St. Bonnie's. VCU an 11.5-point favorite. I like VCU today. I think they crush St. Bonaventure. Oregon is taking on Michigan State. Sparty -6.5. Auburn laying 12.5 against Ole Miss today.
Yeah.
Wichita +9.5 against Memphis. I've already said I like Wichita here.
What about Ole Miss?
I don't.
You like the 12 in Ole Miss?
I think so. I do.
Yeah.
Just because I think I think Auburn does want to win the SEC, but I don't think they need to win by margin. And Auburn, the only time it's easy to even, I say easy, the only time it seems possible to stay in a game with Auburn is if they're not at home. So maybe not being in the jungle gives Ole Miss a shot.
Or to at least cover.
To cover, yeah. Wisconsin, UCLA +1.5. I think I like the dog there. I like UCLA as a dog. How about Texas +10.5 against Tennessee? Can Texas hang within double digits today, Rob?
I do. I think they can hang within double digits. I don't think they can beat them, but there's enough momentum there to kind of carry them through. But they're going to have to stay close early. Just stay close through the first half, and then I think you'll get it. But if Tennessee gets a good 15-point lead, they play such good defense, Texas can't catch up, and I don't think Texas will want to be able to catch up at that moment. I think that they feel like they've done enough.
How about this? After a double overtime game last night, now you're playing Tennessee. How about under 135.5?
I think that's a safe one. And look, unders in the half. A lot of low scores here. Yeah.
Because Tennessee, they need to save some legs too. They got Auburn tomorrow if they do win this game. So
they got some injuries too.
But this is the Rick Barnes revenge tour rolling back through Austin. Marquette, St. John's, the Johnnies 3.5-point favorites over Marquette.
This is going to be a blistering game. I don't know which way it could go. You never press a pressing team. Both these teams press like crazy, so it should be fun.
Maryland, a 1.5-point favorite over Illinois, the Crab 5. I kind of like Illinois here. I just think Maryland not having depth in this tournament setting is going to be rough for them. So I like the Illini. Duke, North Carolina. Duke, a 6.5-point favorite against North Carolina. Can they cover that with no Cooper Flagg?
They can. I'm not sure they will.
Okay. North Carolina, desperate. They need it. Houston -6.5 against BYU. I think they obliterate BYU today.
That's the best money of the day. That's the best money today. Take it right now. 6.5
so
in Houston. Go buy yourself a steak.
Florida minus 9.5 against Missouri. Missouri played yesterday. Florida didn't. I think a rested Florida team probably gets the job done here in my mind. But you like this Missouri team.
I do like Missouri, but Florida is a Final Four team. So no,
I think they might be too. UConn Creighton. UConn 4.5-point favorites against Creighton. Purdue minus 2.5 against Michigan. I think Michigan sucks, but yeah, that's a short number, especially because Purdue doesn't have depth, and they just played last night.
And it took everything they had to get past USC. Yeah, I think Michigan might stumble into something today.
Kentucky plus 7.5 against Alabama. The total more interesting, though, 179.5. They're going to be running and gunning in that one. Clemson, Louisville, Clemson minus 1.5. Texas Tech minus 2.5 against Arizona in what I think is going to be one of the better games of the day.
Yep.
New Mexico minus 1.5 against Boise, another real good one as well. And then Utah State, Colorado State, Utah State minus 1 against the Rams. So there you go. There's your look at college hoops today. And I'll give you one little UFC play that I like for this weekend. The co-main event of the UFC this weekend is Chidi Njokuani against a guy named Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos.
Okay.
And somebody's going to sleep in this match. It's over under 2.5 rounds is pick 'em, even money. So give me under 2.5 rounds, minus 110. I kind of think Zaleski gets the knockout here, but Chidi he can bang too. So these guys are going to throw down. Somebody's going to go to sleep. I think they do that under 2.5 rounds. There you go, friends.
Hey,
that'll do it for us,
and do it for you, my friend. Enjoy the vacay. You deserve it. You've earned it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'll see you guys middle of next week, and we'll be back and at it. And Rob and Vic will hold down the fort while I'm gone. Down. You guys will do a damn good job.
Feed the cats
while I'm eating fish tacos and drinking cold beer. Hard living for me. Back of the plane, I'll make my way to Denmark. It's coming up at 2. Take care.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
And grab the beer battered fish and chips for a light and fresh fare that never skimps on the flavor. Beer battered cod is served with a house-made tartar, malt and vinegar, and French fries. Score them along with a 22-ounce